Boom. Okay, we on. We have officially started this. I will, even though we doing something different. This is not my regular show, but I'm gonna start it the same way. Talk to me. Okay. Right now, for the people that's watching, you've seen the information. Let me make sure that I'm seeing what it looks like on live. Okay, there we go. All right. That we're here to spread the information. And if anybody, which any of you other six people have some noise going in the background, you need to handle the background noise. That's probably Gino.
Y'all funny.
Somebody is back there watching As the World Turns or something like that.
HGTV.
Oh, okay.
As the World Turns don't even come on no more.
Okay, whatever. Gino has it on video tape. But here we are today. We're here for a special purpose. We have some special people here. We're here to spread information about a community leader or a role model, an instructor. Everybody in Cleveland, Ohio knows the name Ken Ferguson, especially in the Lee Harvard, Southeast Side, Lee Seville, Lee Miles. You know the name, you know the legend, you know the man. He's dealing with an illness right now. He wants everybody to know that he's fighting, and to just to let everybody know how it's really going on. His doctor told him he had 6 weeks, probably looking at 6 weeks to live, and that was 2 weeks ago. So he has a very serious form of stomach cancer. It has a much larger name, but it affects his pancreas, his liver, his stomach. It's technically a bile duct. Bile duct. We have a nurse. We have Kim on here. She's a nurse. Where it's a bile duct cancer. And he's currently in Nevada, outside of Las Vegas, receiving treatment at the Metzinger Health Institute, going through some radical things, but he's fighting is the important thing. So he has a GoFundMe. If anybody's watching this right now on Facebook, I put the Zoom chat up. If anybody wants to come on and just share and talk about Ken, and I put the GoFundMe link in the Facebook chat as well. So anybody wants to go over to the GoFundMe, you can get more information about what Ken's doing, what he's fighting against. You can welcome to make any donation. And we're gonna listen more. We already have some more people on here. My brother Delvis Valentine is in the chat, so I'm gonna be bringing him in the room right now. But what you're looking at right now, they might, all of them might not look that dangerous. They might look friendly, but it's some dangerous mofos in this building. And I'm gonna ask everybody, one at a time, just to introduce themselves. But I'm gonna let you know right now that everyone on here right now are black belts in karate. And you don't want to, and matter of fact, either they're all champions in some form, and I see a few of my fellow inductees in the USKF, United States Karate Federation Hall of Fame. We have two United States team members on here. I see Kim Akers, black belt. She done beat many people down. We'll let her give her accomplishments. I see Leah Lewis. I see people don't know this about Leah Lewis. They know Leah. They know that she's a minister. She's been a politician. She's has a law degree. She's involved in all kinds of different committees, but they don't know that Leah Lewis is two-time national karate champion. And we're not gonna talk about when she knocked me out at the park.
Well,
but since Daryl Shake and Bake Sullins is to my left on the screen, he can introduce himself. Again, as we go through this, you see the GoFundMe. You should see the GoFundMe link on the chat. If not, I'll put it on there again. Oh no, it's on there. The GoFundMe is on there. It's definitely. You know what? I'm looking at. Hold on one second, guys. Is anybody looking at Facebook?
I'm trying to find it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Do you see me on there?
No.
I see you. I see the Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Is that the one that you taped earlier?
That's what I'm saying. That's the
That's what I saw.
Right. Okay. Let me make sure. While we're doing this, let me double check. And before we make this official,
Okay, yeah, it's on there.
you see the current one, or you don't? Because I was on there earlier talking about coming on. So is that giving you the time that's a current?
6, what did it say? 6Q7F.
Okay, there's Kim. There's Kim Maker. So that's new. So we are good. Yeah, we are good, because I see. Let me make sure that this is up. Hold on, I gotta make this public. See, I did that before. That's a problem.
That's why I don't see it.
Edit post, right, because it is not public. Edit post. Only me. That's not gonna help anybody. Public. Save. All right, you guys should see me. Bow. Okay, so some people are just now seeing this, just now seeing it, but now we are officially on where everyone can see it. So I gotta do this whole thing again. We gotta do it again. Kevin Chilhard, we are here today to raise awareness for a friend, a brother, a mentor, a coach, a teacher. The word sensei, people translate the word sensei as teacher, but it is a much, and maybe when Keith gets on, it's a much larger word than just teacher. But the person we're here talking about today is Ken Ferguson, a champion in the community of Cleveland, Ohio, specifically the Southeast side, Lee Harvard, Lee Miles, Lee Seville, but all of Cleveland. He's trained thousands of students, touched many, many lives, helped lots of people, and right now he's fighting for his life against a stomach cancer. We had Kim Akers, along being a black belt. She's a nurse on here, but it's a bile duct cancer. Is that correct, Kim?
Yes.
Okay, so it affects his pancreas, his liver, his stomach,
liver. Yeah.
And so he's fighting for his life. And the doctors, and he doesn't mind us letting people know the information. The doctors initially told him he had 6 weeks to live, and that was 4 weeks ago. And he got a second opinion, and they told him the same thing. And he got a third opinion. They said, "Give it to me straight, doc." And they told him, "Bruh, to give it to you straight, you in the bottom of the ninth." So you, of those of you who know Ken Ferguson, he's going for extra innings, and he's fighting. He's currently right now in Nevada, going through treatments at the Metzinger Health Institute. He wants everybody to know that he's giving it the best fight that he can. And so what I've connected on the Facebook post, you see the Zoom link. So if you want to come in on the Zoom link, feel free to do so. And we'll let you come on, talk about Ken, and let people know that they need to go and hit that GoFundMe link. So I think that's it. But I do want to say the people that we have on now, we're going to bring some other people on. Although you may know some of these people in their everyday lives, but I'm going to let you know now. I said it earlier. They might not look like it, but these are some of the most dangerous mofos walking around. Don't step to them. So we have my brother Daryl Sullins, my brother Gino McCulley, my sister Kim Makers, my brother, my cousin, one of my best friends, Keith Collins, and Leah Lewis. Again, I said it earlier, but we weren't on live, on public, is that everyone on here is a black belt in karate. We have many national champions on here. I was personally there with Leah Lewis. You might know her as a politician, a minister, a lawyer, an activist. Leah's a dynamic sister, but I personally saw her win 2 national karate championships. Don't step to Leah wrong. If you might see her in the pulpit, don't jump up there and act.
Don't get too happy.
Don't jump up there and come running. Reflex might get, don't run up on her. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
But so everybody, Daryl and Gino were members of the United States karate team. Myself, 3-time national champion, and I had the pleasure of being inducted into the United States Karate Federation Hall of Fame with Daryl Sullins, with Gino Benjamin McCulley, and with Keith Collins, who is on here with us. Kim, she's kind of the youngin in the group. When she gets on, she can let everybody know her how many people she beat down. But
too many to count.
I understand that. But what we're gonna do before we bring some other people, I see we have my brother Delvis Valentine has been waiting patiently, and my big brother Silas Ashley, who did a good job the other day. He's one of the people that brought together when they honored Ken for the John F. Kennedy Alumni Association. They honored Ken Ferguson. And I'm going to bring him in pretty soon. But I'm going to start with Daryl. Again, you see the Zoom link. You want to come in, talk about Ferg. You also see the GoFundMe link. Feel free to go over there, donate if you can, share it if you can, and you can learn more about what Ken is facing and fighting. Daryl is probably the first of us that was his students. And Daryl, I'm gonna let you go ahead and rock right now.
No, actually, it was Leah, because when I came to the school,
Okay.
I think Leah
Straighten
was
me out. But Leah was what? Like 5?
Get him straight, Daryl.
Yeah.
I was 9 years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
I was 9.
And I think Leah, you was either a yellow belt or a blue belt at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I came up there, it was little Leah Lewis.
That's
you
right.
know, and she was thrashing.
You
But
know.
yeah, I think it was 73, 74 when I first went up to JFK Rec Center. And just to let everybody know, we were not into a karate school in a dojo at the time. We was at a rec center. So we were training around people with basketball, fencing, wrestling on a hard floor.
Ping pong.
You know, all kind of stuff was going on there. But that just goes to show you the necessity of community rec centers and programs, because I don't think anybody on here, maybe Kevin and Keith, was the only one who paid for a karate class. You know, we had all the accomplishments without paying. And if you know of Ken in this fight here, this is not a fight that he's going to win a trophy. Preferably, you know, at the end, he'll win a crown, but this is not something he can reverse punch his way out, you know, over the top or anything like that. He's fighting for his life. And appreciate Kevin bringing everybody together. You know, it was a sad occasion, but, you know, God is good, you know, and he allowed me, from somebody from the inner city, to travel the country and the world, be an example, because when he made the U.S. team, that shook Cleveland, you know, if you understand in the karate world. And then to have young folks like us look at that, and that took our ceiling higher. We wanted to strive to do that, and what we were able to accomplish by, you know, what we call in the Marine Corps the esprit de corps, you know, that brotherhood and sisterhood. We set a standard. He set a standard for us, not only in karate but in life, that you know, against all odds, you can achieve. And that's what we're here to today for, to gather together and know that we're with them during this journey.
Okay. And so, you know, Daryl, since I was mistaken that Leah was actually the first of us to be his student, I erroneously gave you the microphone first.
Yeah.
I had to get checked. So we're gonna go to Leah, and I want everybody to know, again, you see the GoFundMe on there. Feel free to go over there and donate, and if not, you know, because we know what type of times that we're living in, but also feel free to share his GoFundMe, and that's the main thing that we're really doing today, is to get out that information, share the information, let people know what's going on with Ken. He's done so much for so many people, and oftentimes for free or at a super discount. Whether it's a party, a hall rental, some bounce house characters, a repass, you know, you can talk Ferg for the, like my cousins say, for the free. But you know, we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and rightfully give his first, before all of us, Leah Lewis, the microphone. Two-time national champion, Leah Lewis.
Well, Kev, you know, I know it's all love and no shade, but I got to issue another correction.
Oh,
I have 3 national championships,
Oh,
my brother.
okay, hold on, Leah. Wait.
Two in Kumite, which is fighting, and 1 in kata, which is
Oh,
so you cannot
Boom.
deny a sister her accomplishments. And yes, I was Kenny's first student, and that is because he was dating my sister. He was actually my second karate instructor. I started with Taekwondo and then came around to Okinawan karate. And Kenny was my instructor from the age of 9 to the age of 18.
Wow.
And, you know, I have to second everything Daryl has said. You know, he really contributed to my understanding of discipline. And it is discipline that has allowed me to achieve everything that I have achieved in life. And, you know, we are here to salute Kenny, but I also want to salute all of you, my brothers and my sister who are on this call. But I particularly want to lift up all of the men because, you know, my mom was not a very trusting woman when it came to her baby, but I was in great hands with Kenny, with Kevin, with Daryl, with Gino, and with Keith. Nothing came upon a sister. I was completely safe in your presence. And so I want to salute you all for that. And I know that Kenny really set the tone. You know, Kenny's goofy. Kenny's a goofy guy, he's a funny guy. But when it came to the sport of karate, he was about his business. He was well organized. He was disciplined. He ran those classes. And we were and remain a team of champions. And we have to salute Kenny for that reason.
Right. And you know what? I do have to add, Daryl, I know you want to jump in. I do have to add. And by the way, for Leah and Keith, who have either just their names or avatars up when you actually go live, although we see them on the Zoom call, we don't see them on Facebook. So it'll just have your name. The people on the Facebook don't see you, but they will see whatever you have up. If they replay this back when I think I'll put this on YouTube. But I do want to add, you know, we had women, ladies, young ladies. First two comes to mind, obviously, is Leah and Shirley Jordan. Rest in peace. Who we unfortunately lost Shirley Jordan, who passed away a couple of years ago. One of the most ferocious fighters, man, woman, adult, man. Who didn't want to?
Shirley wasn't no joke. And that afro.
Woo!
Oh yeah,
Come on now.
the
Nobody could
female
compete.
Jim Kelly.
Yes, she was. Shirley wasn't no joke. She was a gold standard.
But before I move to Gino, I do want to say, and Daryl might want to add, you know, when Leah says that she was safe, she was protected, you know, we also, you know, we were a family. And I wish somebody would say something crazy to Leah Lewis. Oh, it'd be a for real problem. But before we go to Gino, I think you wanted to jump in and say something.
No, Leah's right. I mean, we were a family. I mean, in Kenny, I remember first going up there. I'm like, this dude, the karate teacher. Man, when I got in there that ring with Kenny, and that dude, I don't know what he did to me, but I said, whatever he did, I want to learn it. I couldn't see it, but I wanted to learn it. And he was a purple belt at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, I'm gonna start letting some other people in the room, but they're gonna have to wait for the black belts to get it in. My brother Delvis, my big brother Silas, and Stacy Collier. Just let the black belts go ahead and get it in for a second, guys, before you get in here. So I want to go to and I'm trying to go in order in which we came and trained with Ferg, and of course I just got corrected that Leah was first, and then Daryl, and so we're gonna go to Gino. Now people will see his name's on the screen, might say Benjamin, just like everybody, you know. I do a podcast, and everybody knows me from Chill Talk and in my days of rapping, and even my days as a journalist. But I'm still a journalist, but you know, all of y'all might not be accustomed to hearing people call me Kevin. They don't went government name on me, but we're gonna bring Gino, but I believe it might have said Benjamin earlier. But yeah, Gino was his next student. Again, if you see the GoFundMe, go ahead and click that. And if you can donate, and even if you can't donate, please share this information about Ken Ferguson, as he's putting up a real valiant fight for his life. So, and we're trying to support him as he has supported all of us, the community, Lee Harvard in particular, Cleveland at large. They know his heart. So it's time for us to support him. But I'm gonna go to my man Gino McCulley, United States team member, was knocking out cats with one precision punch. Gino hit you 12 times in the exact same location. You can't stop it. He had grown men crying like it wasn't fair. But go ahead, Gino.
Yeah, my name is Gino McCulley. For y'all don't know me, I was like his third best older student. Like I started when I was 15. Daryl had brought me up there. I almost quit because of Leah.
What did I do, Gino?
Nothing. It was just that you had a blue belt already. I was like, I ain't getting beat up. I just had to get over my embarrassment.
Gino, you didn't want to come in as a white belt, and Leah already had a blue belt.
Yes, that was it.
I had to talk him into it. He said, man, I ain't going up there. They're going to be all the different belts. I'll be a white belt.
Yeah, but other day I had to call Kenny and was like thanking him, first of all, for taking a little kid out the ghetto, teaching them karate, and traveling all over the United States and halfway around the world, and getting me on.
Okay, Gino went freezy on us.
Oh man!
On the United States karate team.
He's back
and keeping me out of trouble, and did this.
Okay, Gino, you're gonna have to go and find your Wi-Fi source, because we losing you. But before I move on, and that Gino gets it back together, I do want to say, and which I didn't say with Daryl, Gino and Daryl were, along with Kenny, were members of the United States karate team. And just for you to understand how incredible that was, what type of instructor Ferg was, you got to figure that the United States team is made up of members from all over the nation. You'd be lucky to get a person from your school on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But to get 3 people from the same school and an alternate, so literally 4 people from the same school were on the United States karate team at one time. And I guarantee you, no other time was it ever 4 people from one school on the United States karate team at the same time. And you talking about cats who started at a recreation center. So Gino, you back. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish up. Okay, hold on, but you on mute. You gotta take yourself off mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, and I had to thank you for teaching us karate and getting me to try out for the team, and I liked it then because you could if you won, you was on the team basically that year. I know before that it was some political stuff going on. When he was joining, just think he had to be twice as good because it was political when he was joining the team. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. And well, I thank you for all that. And just thinking he did all that for free. All his classes were free. Then, that's how much he cared about his community and the children that were in it. Children, teenagers, adults, whatever. And from there, it took me to the Marine Corps. It took and then it was always an idea that you never give up. That we were taught, no matter how much time on the clock, you still had a chance.
That's right.
All you had to do is go get it. So that's the attitude I had, and that's what he taught us. And it took me from there. It took me to the Marine Corps with a no quit attitude, and took me to the clean police department. 30 years that I had that no quit attitude and the readiness and the discipline and the fight to keep going.
Daryl, where all did Gino go for while you were on the United States team?
Actually, we was on the U.S. Pan American team and the United States World team.
Right.
Santa Clara, California. We went to Caracas, Venezuela, and competed. There was actually a third team that while I was in the Marine Corps in Okinawa, Japan, I got a letter that they wanted me to compete, but I couldn't be released at that time. But not to mention, I was the Ohio State champion. I was the Pennsylvania State champion, also the North Carolina State champion. And that's because of everybody that's on here, because like
right,
said, the no quit attitude, the standards that you could not lose and ride back with us. You could not lose. And imagine if you take that attitude, and I say this all the time, even on my podcast and stuff, if we take the attitude that we had amongst each other, that we drive, that we had accountability, and you apply that in your life, in your business, in your home, in education, that overcoming, persevering attitude, regardless of what, you can accomplish anything. And we didn't have much of anything, and we did those things.
Right.
And you're right. And you know what, Daryl, when you start naming Pennsylvania State, all of us, we can get competitive. We all won. I just hit the highlights initially. I didn't go to, you got to figure, if we won the multiple national championships and you guys were international champions, you don't even want to start with the regional, state, city.
Right.
You can only imagine. But
most people don't know.
Right. Derek DeCluet. I'm about to let Derek DeCluet in.
Oh, the clothes on.
Yeah, he's in. I'm about to let him in. But
I sent him the link.
I'm going to go to my cousin Keith. Just like you brought Daryl, you brought Gino. I brought Keith, and it was, and it's funny because Keith, like you said, that I was already taking martial arts, and Keith, my cousin, he got me involved in the martial arts, and I always tell the story. I know he's gonna laugh. When he started studying, and he was gonna teach me, but what he taught me was, okay, hold on, let me get on the regular, the one screen. Okay, what he taught me was, he said, okay, you're gonna be the uke. And what I later found out, uke slightly translates to dummy. and so he said, you're gonna be the uke. So what that basically meant is that I thought he was teaching me karate, but he was really just practicing whooping my ass. And so he kicked me, flipped me, punched me. And I said, you know what? I think I want to go actually take karate. And but I followed him, and man, it was the greatest thing that I had ever done at that point in my life. So it was my pleasure. Once I came to the oh, you know what? I didn't take my turn. Okay, I'm taking my turn. Okay, before I pass the mic to Keith. So you already know how I got in martial arts. And my cousin Keith got me in, and so and I had won a couple of tournaments, and I met Gino, and he was, lightweight, trying to talk tough to me I saw him at Severance Mall.
I don't remember that.
We was gonna be in an upcoming tournament, and he was like, lightweight, talking tough to me. And but anyway, I went up to the rec center. I got to give props to my brother Grant Frazier, because Grant was studying up there, and he said, man, you got to come over here and get down with these dudes. And I had seen Ferg. I already knew Ken Ferguson was on the United States karate team. And so I came by the rec center, and what I went through to be a member of this family was egregious. It was something that would later be called the gauntlet, where not only did you have to fight every single person in the karate school, but they got better as you fought the next person. And so I ended up fighting with another brother, John Henderson. I fought Grant. I fought some other people. I think I fought Shirley. Who could fight? I knew that was an issue.
Right.
If the girl, I had problems with her. Then I had to fight Gino, and then he was putting it on me, and I'm tired. Then I got to fight Sullins. And for anybody who does not know, I'm telling you right now, Daryl Sullins still has the fastest back fist known to man. It's blinding. If you don't cover if you don't put your hand up, you get hit in the eye. And man, he back fist me all in my mouth, my eye, my nose, my lip. It was. And then after I was just totally beat down, then I had to fight Ken Ferguson, who beat the crap out of me. And then they got together and they said, okay, we like this dude, he tough. And then I was in. And I think Daryl brought it up. Daryl talks about this, it's accountability, the things that you learn with Ferg and these people that you see on here. Because losing is not the problem. It's the heckling that you're gonna get from the rest of your teammates when you do lose. Oh my God, they're terrible. When you lose, you got jokes all the way back home. So you really do not want to lose hanging out with these people. But lifelong friends, Ferg, and you may hear more stories, but like Ferg taught us how to drive a car.
Oh God.
And when I say taught you how to drive a car, it don't mean he actually gave you lessons like at the place.
He used to say here.
It means
try this for me.
he left you in the car
It said drive.
and said, drive, get this back to my house or the rec center.
Yep.
Or sometimes he'd be in the car.
Yep.
And if you shotgun, you may have to drive the car from the passenger side
Hold the wheel while he
at like
right.
80 miles an hour. But
I can remember one time he took me home.
Derek the Cluet.
Yes, sir.
Derek the Cluet, you gotta wait your turn, King.
Oh, y'all doing okay.
We
That's
going
what's
in
up.
order. We going in
That's
order
what's up. Appreciate it.
of ranking and when we started with Ferg.
Gotcha.
So
That's
we
what's up.
we have Leah Lewis, his very first student that was before all of us.
I remember Leah.
And she
Oh,
corrected
wow.
me that she was first. But yeah, so
Wow.
we going in order, Derek the Cluet.
Okay.
So,
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, but yeah, Ferg,
Come on, that
man.
Zoom call.
Other people will
Mhm.
talk about this more, but you learn so many life lessons with him and strategies and competitions. And before I pass it to my cousin Keith, I'll tell you another thing that I learned from Ferg. When you would lose against somebody, I don't know if you guys remember this. Like sometimes, you're a young kid and you lose and you mad, you might want to walk away because you're supposed to shake hands. You're like, I ain't shaking his hand. They cheated me, or I'm gonna get them next time. Ferg said, no. If somebody beats you in competition, you go right up in their face, shake their hand, get a good look at them. You know why? And I said, because you're showing respect to your competitor. He said, no, because if somebody beats you, you get a good look at them to remember who they are. So when the next time you see them, you're going to beat the hell out of them.
That's it.
That's what we loved about him, and most people hated about him.
He said, no, don't shake their hand out of respect. Shake their hand so you can get a good look at them. So this don't happen to you again. But everybody has those Ferguson stories. But again, I want to go to my cousin Keith. He brought me in martial arts, and I still continue to learn so much about the arts from him. Even to this day, I'll just call him up and we'll talk strategies or information or history. Probably is the most knowledgeable martial artist of its entirety on this panel. So I just want to pass the mic to him. But he had to go through the gauntlet too. And he actually was the first one Ferg promoted to black belt. So I want to bring on my cousin Keith Collins again. If you see the GoFundMe, it's in the link. Go ahead and donate or share it, or you can share this. If you're watching us on Facebook, please share it. Share the Zoom link. Share the GoFundMe, and let people know what Ferg is fighting against. It's a very serious cancer. His doctor told him he had 6 weeks to live, and that was 2 weeks ago. But I talked to Ferg today. He's fighting this, but it costs money. So he has a GoFundMe account. So please go ahead and donate, because he's given time to us, and so we're giving time to him. Keith, go ahead and get the mic, bro.
You were talking about the gauntlet. Like you said, by the time you faced Kenny, you was already beat up by everybody else. Kenny did one technique on me 3 times. And each time I never saw it coming. All I know is I kept looking up at him from the floor. It shows you how hard-headed I was. It took me 3 times to figure out it's time to quit and ask him to be your instructor. From that point on, like you said, Kenny taught us discipline. I don't always like to say it, but we were the best in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not even a question.
No, but I have to think about it, because it's like, we trained every day, hard every day. There was no doubt in our minds when we showed up at a tournament that we was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if you lost, you ain't want to ride back in that car. Now, for me in particular, y'all rode me all the time because I knocked out everybody. It wasn't
He
that
was
I
before
missed.
his time.
He was MMA. Keith was MMA. Keith was MMA before it happened.
Right.
Look, it wasn't that I meant to knock out everybody. I just wasn't gonna let nobody disrespect me. You got to remember, we were teenagers fighting grown men, and they would always try to intimidate me, since I was the smallest one on the team, and I just wasn't gonna have that. So I might not have won a whole lot of kumite, but I was a champion in kata and weapons.
Hey, well, I'm not gonna let you get away with that, Keith. Let me tell y'all something. One time, when they had the United States, it was for the team trials for the Taekwondo championship. Keith, man, he was beating people all over the ring. He was knocking people's headgear off. Keith lost, and they still said, "Oh, he on the team." Oh, that dude for sure on the team. Man, he was beating people down so bad. Didn't win. He didn't win the match. Oh, but he for sure won the fight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they said, "Oh, we're not leaving here to the national championship without that dude on our team." And I just want y'all to know, he did knock out almost everybody he fought. Tore up their karate suit, stomped him. Man, Keith could do like 27 techniques at one time. And I just want y'all to know, like I earlier said about Leah Lewis, Keith is a pastor.
He had to become a pastor after that.
Oh, y'all ain't
He had
right.
to repent.
For all those people he beat up, he had to go and repent. And his penance was to become a pastor. Daryl, is that what you're saying? Okay, Keith, are you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished.
All right. Now we get to the youngins. Daryl, when you kept saying we never paid for a karate class, I want to say, well, Kim Akers paid for a karate class.
No, I'm talking about when we was at the rec center.
Yeah. So the people you just talked to started taking karate, his original students at the rec center, and he was able to take his formula and his love, because he could have just stopped working at the rec center and went on to do other things, but he decided to formally open up a dojo. And so he opened up to a whole new realm of students, and to us, Kim and Derek, we felt like we were you guys aunts and uncles.
Right.
That we would want to come and make sure that you guys kept the tradition of the things that we learned, because you still will go be Ken Ferguson students. So we wanted to make sure that that y'all kept the same dominance and beating everybody down that we did, and you guys held up that tradition and carried on to that tradition for decades after that. And Kim was Ferg's first black belt as a professional instructor.
You know what? Me and Derek took the test the same day.
Okay.
Together.
We share that title.
So we're gonna let ladies first then, and we're gonna let Kim Akers go ahead. And again, for people that are watching, if you see the GoFundMe link in the chat and the box, go ahead and share it, drop some dollars in, but definitely share it and let people know about it. You see the GoFundMe in there, and you can share this as well. Share the Zoom link for anybody that you think wants to come and talk about Ferg as he fights against this very aggressive form of cancer. He's in a facility right now that's $800 a day. So Ken has spent so much time helping us, helping others. So it's time for us to help him fight. Like Daryl said, he can't reverse punch his way out of this. And so he needs our help. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic to his first professional, well, one of the two first professional Gojo students. And he man, Ken Ferguson loves Kim Akers. That's his girl. So, and I know she loves him.
Like a dad. He's
And
like a dad.
So go ahead, Kim.
All right. So I started, actually, I didn't start with him first because I was at Jamal's school for about 2 weeks.
What? What? Oh, now you tell us.
I was at his school.
Did we know
That
this?
might have got you on waivers.
Wait a
know
minute.
this?
I don't know if he did. It didn't even matter because I didn't like it anyway.
Okay, now I did.
all my
Just
friends
let
went
you
to
guys know. Hold on, time out. Just let you know, I did invite Jamal. So and you know, Jamal loves Ferg. He loves us. We love him. But Jamal knows that it was always a rivalry between us. So we got Ferg got some of his students. He got some of our students. But go ahead, Kim. I just want you to know I ain't gonna let y'all just drag Jamal like that.
No, it was
He's
just
invited.
that
That's my big brother. Go
I
ahead.
didn't like it. I thought they were being too mean. I mean, I was 12 years old. So I say, there's another karate school down the street. Let me try that one. Paid the money. It's like, uh-oh. I can't get out of it. Y'all, oh my God, selling, especially you. I was so scared. He scared me. So I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, what have I gotten my mom into? Because there was no way I could back out. She paid all this money. Anyway, so I started at 12. Began to like it more, a little more. It was better than the other place. Learned how to fight. It was me and my brother going. He didn't like it, so he dropped out, and I kept going because it caught my interest. I liked competing, fighting, going to tournaments, and everything. So, and Ferguson used to tell us everything. It's one little thing he would say that I say to this day to my kids. Can't means I don't want to. When you say, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, can't means I don't want to. And I say, you know what? You're right. So that's what I tell my kids now. As far as competing, I love doing that. I mean, Ferguson used to take us everywhere. Chicago, New York. I know y'all remember the Chicago trip.
Oh, really?
First National.
Where y'all hid y'all hats because the other school was gonna eat y'all up because of.
Come on, Kim. Now you know better than that.
That's not the one. Daryl, that's not the tournament. That's not the one with the gun, was it?
Yes, that same tournament.
The
gun. Is that the tournament with the gun?
The same tournament. I told you, Kim, because that's the tournament that the Great Britain team was there.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It was almost a second riot.
The school that y'all were hiding from had the pitchforks. Remember?
I remember.
And y'all took y'all hats off. I'm like, oh, that's how y'all gonna play me?
No, you ain't see that. I know you ain't see that.
I did see y'all take your hats off.
No, as a matter of fact, what held us back, we was actually holding the Cluid's dad back.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
He was speaking Japanese. And I don't know what he said, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, fun.
Oh, that was pops.
I won a few championships. I mean, I can't, say that I've won a whole lot, but I have. But then, I became an instructor. So I taught many classes. I found myself there all the time.
hey, once Ferg learns that you can teach class, you teach it all the time.
Right.
I used to open the school, close the school. When he go out of the country, I did everything. Soul karate, I did everything.
We did. We went through that.
I think I might have been 14 years old. I knew how to do everything. He taught me how to work a computer, drive a car. That is so funny how you say he taught you, because he just said, here, take this car and go take your mama to the store. He said, all you got to do, is take the back streets and stay in between the lines and you'll be fine. That was crazy. But that's how I learned how to drive a car.
I think I was with Gino. I was in the car. He left the car and said, okay, y'all drive the car back. And I'm looking like, who here know how to drive?
No.
And Gino said, I can give it a shot.
I mean, I don't know. He said, because he was like, which car do you want? I'm thinking, I take the little brown one. It's little. I figure I can maneuver that one.
I always take
I
the
was like,
VW.
where's the key? He said, let me show you how to cut it on. I was like, oh, Lord.
I learned how to drive a stick from Kenny. He had a van and the stick shift was up in here instead of down on the floor. He said,
really?
just move it in an H. It's an H. And that's how I learned how to drive a stick.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know how to work a computer.
I'm
He
saying
said,
everybody's gonna have stories about, not just learning martial arts from Ken Ferguson, but life lessons.
Life lessons, yeah.
And because he will give you the opportunity to do things where maybe sometimes even your parents wouldn't. Nobody's parent go just let you take the car. You 20 miles away from home, and they jump out the car and say, just get the car back to the spot. Like he gonna give you that shot. But you better not tear up his car too. So you
I know, it's kind of fair.
Hey, Chill, after you go through everybody, I got a real funny story after you get through everybody.
It's not that story about you running up that hill, is it?
Come on, man. No, what you got to bring? No,
okay.
Man.
All right, okay, not that story.
But I want to hear that one too.
Not the story about Leah Lewis knocking me unconscious at
Not
Lake,
that story. Not that story.
Playing who's playing that funny song.
Man, I'll tell them, man, Leah, that still wasn't right how you knocked me unconscious.
Evan, I love you.
Yeah, but Leah, that was
that was funny.
Yeah, and not only did she knock me out, it was on tape.
And we kept replaying.
And y'all kept watching it over and over. I was like that dude on Minutes of Society. I'm like, y'all still watching that?
Yeah.
I was playing in slow motion.
Was that on the was that on the VCR tape? The VCR
it was a big no, this was on the reel.
On the stand?
No, this was a reel.
Oh wow.
We can move past that story though. But Lee, me and you still not really right behind that one. All right, Kim, I'm gonna let you close out before I go to the
But he was like a father. My dad wasn't there, but he was like a father. I mean, just taught you everything.
Right.
You want to learn the computer, you did that. Just a few years ago, my mom passed away. I needed somebody to clear the house. He got all his boys over there to clear the house. I mean, he did my brother's repass. He did the repass for him.
He did my dad's repass.
Wow.
And he, he always say, it's my daughter, it's my daughter. They'd be like, I didn't know you had a daughter. Well, that's me. I've been with him since 12.
All right, so we're gonna move on to DeCluett. I believe
this is Leah. I have to invoke another name, Clifford Ford.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Clifford was my peer.
Right.
And
first boyfriend.
Oh yeah. Well, in my mind, I had a thing for three of y'all: Clifford Ford, Daryl Sullins, and Gino McCulley.
That's why she knocked me out.
Yeah.
Step off.
Yeah, it's all love. But again, I just want to invoke Clifford's name. We lost him and we lost Shirley.
Yeah.
And they were both very much a part of our spirit, our energy, and our joy.
Yeah. And I thank Leah. You're absolutely right. That was apropos and I do want to, before we go to Derek, and then after that, we have some people on We got my brother Delvis Valentine, and hopefully, I don't know if brother Silas is still on, but we'll see. And then if not, because I know we've been on here talking, but I do want to say Clifford Ford was as a youngster, and we did lose Clifford to crime in these streets. But as a young man, Clifford was the hardest hitting little boy. He was hitting little kids like grown men. Parents was like, nah, that kid ain't hitting my kid like that. One of the toughest cats, and he remained tough like that throughout his life. Unfortunately, was victim to the streets. But Leah's right. Clifford was part of our family. We have many Clifford Ford stories that we probably can't tell until the movie comes out.
And he was the first to win a trophy out of all of us.
And be the first to heckle you if you didn't win a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. All right,
Derek. Get on Otis Jackson.
Go ahead, DeCluid.
Oh man,
I see you out there, Stacy.
Derek.
Hey, what's going on? Wow, that man, this is just awesome. I love this man right here. I can remember too, like I started at another karate school. I didn't start at Ken Ferguson. I went to Karate Institute down at what was that? It was some center.
Pearl Road.
No, they had a brother, Marcus Fort, had another
Marcus Fort.
Really?
Marcus D. Mad Dog Marcus Fort.
So he was connected with Karate Institute, but he was teaching out of the Caramel House.
Hey, DeCluid, let me tell you this. And Keith knows, because we came up with Marcus and I were, because Keith and I were with Karate Institute. And Marcus and I were white belts together.
Okay.
We started, I was at first tournament I ever went to was a Karate Institute tournament, and Marcus was there and was in it. He's passed on, but I love Marcus Ford. We were white belts together at the Karate Institute. And to see his students, I'm proud of all of his students. But yeah, so I just want you to know that Keith and I saw Marcus. We came up. Well, at least me. Keith already was a higher belt, but Marcus and I were white belts together.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly that's what's up.
I know.
Yeah. So I took karate with him for probably about the same amount of time Kim was with Jamal, probably 2 weeks, and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. So we ended up. My pops took me to Ferg, and man, it was just magic. It was magic from there, man. He was just that teacher. You know what I'm saying? He taught me a lot. He taught me how to be a champion. You know what I'm saying? I won back-to-back AAU Kumite at the Nationals 2 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? Took home gold. Won probably 150 trophies, just going to different tournaments. And my dad, though, y'all know him, man. He shit, man. he was in the mix, man. Like he loved karate. He loved us doing it. And he push you. He'll push you. You know what I'm saying? But Ferg also, he taught us how to win. You know what I'm saying? As a team. And man, I still can remember. I think it was the green belt kata, Sayuchin. Was that green belt?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, that was
the breathing kata. The breathing kata.
Yeah, the breathing kata. Yeah, San Chin.
Yeah,
no, San Chin.
Sanchez, right?
Where you breathe and you make your belt pop up.
Yeah. You take your shirt off.
And they punch you while you're doing it.
Man, and he punched the shit out you.
I know he does. And he did not take any easy on the women either.
I was thinking I'm a kid, right? right in the back of your shoulder blades and just be like, wow. And you got to keep forward, man. Like it taught me so much, man. And even in the hard times in my life that as an adult, I remember about winning and what he taught us and discipline and to get back to that. Once it's in you, it's in you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I strayed away from that for a little bit, but then I remembered that and got back to it. And it really helped me a lot. It helped me a lot because all of my friends, they fathers wasn't paying that money for that karate. You know, y'all got the free karate. My old man had to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, once you got, but it was what it was, man. It was, man. It just, I love going, spending the night at the sleepovers as a kid.
Oh, God.
Hey,
Yeah.
working in the haunted house as a kid. I mean, it was what it was, man. But I loved it. I had so many good times and memories from the karate school. You know what I'm saying? And then he bought the spot next door and blew the door out, and there was a workout spot. It was all kind of places next door, but that was Ferg, man. He always was about business, and I just appreciate that, man. I appreciate everything he did. You know, I love going up there, man. I love going to, you know, and then after on Fridays, we go to McDonald's and get, you know what I'm saying? That was our life as my parents, everything. It was, you know, it was what it was.
Right. Hey, Derek, who was the teacher in the class you were in? Like when Ferguson wasn't teaching, who was?
Right,
When I first started, Gino and Durrell.
Okay.
Gino and Durrell was up there. That's what I remember.
Right.
I
and
still remember. Hey, Chill, I still remember when your record hit the radio, you came through there like a boss.
I was a boss.
Yeah. Oh, he had the hat, he had the clothes. No, it wasn't, yeah. I remember that. And I remember Ferg made a big deal like this was my student, blah, blah, blah. And other kids was like, yeah. I remember that. That was awesome.
Hey man, but like everybody's gonna tell you, you're gonna continue, and I don't know if Delphs is on, but we're gonna go to Stacy after this. Is that we continue to be a family, man? And I said earlier before we went public, as a journalist, I was in Baltimore covering the riots, and stayed at Ground Zero a little too long, and then curfew happened. And what's funny is I was on live talking all kinds of smack. I don't care about a curfew. I wish they would tell me that. I'm from Cleveland. I come home when I want to. Man, curfew came. I couldn't get a cab, a hack. I could not. My phone was like half a bar of power. I went on Facebook, was like, is anybody in the Baltimore area? Man, Kim Akers was like, where you at? I'm on my way.
That's kill spot.
Kim Akers came and got me from Ward toward B-More. The CVS was still on fire when Kim Akers came and got me. So yeah, and a family. And I just want you to know that when Leah Lewis was pledging AKA, I did go down to her college and caused a little commotion.
He did.
She might have caused a little trouble behind that, but
well.
Hey y'all, just right there, Ken Ferguson, the karate. They put his name in there. Who's who in karate?
Okay.
Yeah, they put the school in there in his name.
We got artifacts.
Yeah. Actually, my mom just sent over like a bunch of my trophies and stuff that was in her basement, and that book was in there. So
okay, we have Silas back. So I don't know if Delvis is he was first, but I don't know if Delvis is on here. So what we're gonna do, brother Silas, if you're ready to come on and say something about Ken, and then we're gonna go after Silas to Stacy. Again, I want you guys to know that you can see in the description box that we have the link for the GoFundMe for Ken Ferg. Again, for people just tuning in, we really repping for a brother who has represented for us. He's fighting a very aggressive cancer. They told him he had 6 weeks to live. That was 2 weeks ago, but we know Ferg is not going anywhere without a fight. So if you see the GoFundMe, feel free to share it. You can drop some money in there, but please, please, please share that GoFundMe. And when you share it, leave a couple words about who Ferg is. So are you ready, brother Silas?
Hey, Chill, just before you go to Silas, just to let you know, it's about to be some ruckus. Melvin Brown is trying to get in.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
I just want to let you know.
Okay, I'll give a warning before we let Melvin in.
Yeah, he's trying to say, he said, I don't have a link. I said, look at the text he
Because
sent
I'm not, because you know you have to mute Melvin and then he unmutes it and it's about to be different when Melvin gets in. All right, I think they're getting Brother Silas together. It looks like that he's almost in. Let me see. Okay, no, he has camera, but he does not have. I see they getting Silas together. But until that point, we go ahead and go to the Stacy Collier. Can you hear me? Stacy, can you hear me? Well, it says Stacy Collier, but it's you. Can you hear me, Stacy?
I think she's frozen.
Yeah, she froze.
There
Oh,
she
there
goes.
she go.
Damn.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk to us, Queen.
No, just so you all know, I came in at the studio on Lee Road.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I was, Daryl, Gino, all of you.
Okay.
I was like that kid on the outside because I just thought you all were like superstars.
Well, we were.
I was gonna say that, Daryl, but I was gonna wait for somebody else.
It's true.
I was like, it was like the greatest thing that ever happened. It was like, wow, I went in, they put me in karate because I had a bad habit of hitting on people.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't good. So Mr. Ferguson was like, oh, so you like to hit people. And that was the first time I got one of them punches in the chest. And I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, he always punch you in the chest.
Right.
I don't think I like this. But I hung in there. I can honestly say though that I ended up going to college on a volleyball scholarship. I was 5'5", playing a front row hitter, middle hitter, because I learned how to jump in karate. You know, and it was like every time I saw Mr. Ferguson, I don't know if you all remember, I followed you all one day. I was always on that outskirts. I was a little girl with the ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 pigtails. And I followed y'all everywhere y'all went. Just like in the background. You know, just like, because I wanted to be part. You know, but I was too scared like to really jump in. Kim kicked my butt so many times. I don't even. I can't even. She did.
Me?
It's like yes.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, yeah.
I cannot recall.
Okay.
But I was always like that kid, like right just on that cusp. You know, I came from Garfield, come up to the studio a couple times a week, then back to Garfield. You all would say you were going to the mall. I would show up at the mall, just like at the tail end of the group. Y'all didn't even realize that I was like following y'all everywhere y'all went. I was like that kid that just wanted to be part of the group. Outside of even outside of the karate studio. But I appreciate all of you. I appreciate Mr. Ferguson. He and every time he saw me, he just saw about a year ago, he ran into me and my grandson, and he was like, Stacy Collier. And he shook my grandson's hand. He was like, you know what? Out of all my students, I never forget Stacy Collier. He never forgot any of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Any of us, no matter where we were, no matter what we were doing. If he saw you, he spoke.
Right.
You know, all the political stuff that I'm into, he's there, you know, fighting for his ward, fighting for his city. You know, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for Ken Ferguson Karate Studio.
Right.
You know, like I said, I definitely wouldn't have been a middle hitter and got a volleyball scholarship. I got the volleyball scholarship because of the abilities that I learned in karate. You know, so I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know. And my mother just took my trophies down off of her mantle. I guess she passing out our stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, mine too.
I think we got Silas getting ready to get in. Silas, I see you. I see you in there. All right, so Silas.
All
So
right.
Stacy, we're gonna
I'm
bring
good.
Silas in, but Stacy, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, well, and we appreciate you, and please hang out because we go share some Ken Ferguson stories. And I know Daryl has a story coming up. Okay, it looks like we had Silas, and if we can get Silas, we go get him on. But we do have Melvin Brown, one of our original OGs. He's one of the. But I'm just letting you know now, when Melvin gets on here, it's gonna turn into a different type show. So Melvin is okay, but okay, Daryl, just tell Melvin I see him, but I'm not even letting Melvin in the room until we're ready for Melvin. But I believe we do have my big brother Silas. Are you ready, sir?
Let me see.
I can see you and I can hear you.
You can hear me, then I'm ready.
All right. And I do want to say that brother Silas, for like I said earlier, if people were able to tune in when the John F. Kennedy Alumni Association honored Ken, of which he was actually able to participate. He was there. He's here with us in spirit. I talked to him earlier today, so he knows that we're here doing this and I'm recording it, and he may be watching it. But brother Silas and his group was able to honor Ken through the John F. Kennedy Alumni Association, and he can tell his own stories about Ken. But again, I want you guys, as Ken fights in the fight of his life, for a very aggressive cancer. This is very serious. I mean, the doctors were telling Ferg that he only had 6 weeks to live, and that was 2 weeks ago. Want to make sure that you guys know that we have his GoFundMe up. If you want to find out more about what Ken is dealing with, go ahead and look at that. It's in the description box, the link. Please share it. And Daryl, since you're on Melvin duty, Melvin left out of the waiting room. He might have got upset because he wasn't in yet, but tell him I saw him. He just has to hold on because he gets his own special time.
He'll probably be calling me a Gino.
They didn't let me in. Y'all don't want to let me in because I'm the best out of everybody. So, okay.
He already called. He already tried to call me.
Okay. All right, so go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brothers. Okay, Silas is occupying 2 different boxes now. Okay, but
you know what? Because I was on another Zoom meeting. I called myself trying to figure out how to catch up on the phone, which I did, but I couldn't. We couldn't hear anything, so I just ran to the computer to jump in right quick.
Well, go ahead and do your thing, big bro.
Okay, it's real quick. You know, everybody. I'm sure everybody got stories about Ken because he's a good brother. Has always been a good brother, and I've known him since he was like 10 years old. Because his older brother Ron, he and I are classmates from JFK. So I knew all 5 brothers. You know, as the stepping stones coming up in life there. So, but I had to tell. Because my oldest son is here now, and I had to tell one other Ken story, Ken Ferguson story, Kevin, involving karate. You know, I put my son in Ken's class, you know, after Ken. So I said, okay, man, you know, going up there and you know, Ken will hook you up. And sure enough, you know, so I was living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at the time. So he comes down for the summer, and they're having this karate tournament, you know, in downtown Baton Rouge. And I said, okay, so, you know, I'm gonna put you in the little tournament, you know. So in the tournament, you know, it's one brother and all these white people there. And so I knew when we went in there, it was gonna be problems.
All the time.
You know? Right. So I said, son, you know, before we get in here, man, let me tell you something. You know, I said, I know the kind of karate that Ken taught you. You know, it has and I try to be professional. I said, man, you know, it has an urban flavor to it. You know, don't teach you to go out there and kick ass, not just go out there and use the karate protocol. So I try to instill this to my son before he went in there, and he went in there, and so I said, I tell you what, son, I'm not gonna even look. Okay, it's gonna be all right. So I went like in the little hallway corridor thing, and so about 5 minutes later, he came out there. I said, how'd it go, son? He said, I got disqualified. I said, damn. I said, what happened? The guy said, go. I said, so, you know, I want to take care of business. I said, next thing I know, the white boys laid all out on the mat and they told me to get out. And that was
Yeah, that's how it works.
See, it wasn't just me, Kevin.
So you know,
I knew Keith was gonna say something to that.
it's true story, because I knew how Ken was going to teach y'all. You know, I knew it did. So it put you on a whole different level. You know, it really did, man. And I used to come home all the time. I say, you know, I got, you know, you teaching these kids here, you know, you're going to have some killers out here, because they don't know how, how to, you know, let up. They're trying to win. It's about they're trying to win. You know, he was using by any means necessary in the karate field. That's how he was using. That's it for me, man.
Yes.
Hey, Silas, brother Silas, I appreciate you coming on here and letting some of his black belts kind of do their thing first.
Right.
But hey, and I really appreciate that you being able to honor Ken like that. And if Daryl was there, Kim was there. I think Derek DeClue, were you there when the John F. Kennedy Alumni Association honored him on the Zoom?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
thought I saw you in there. But
Yep.
man, Silas, he loved that. I'm saying he was touched by it. And
He did.
anybody that saw it, they saw that he was really touched. And that's one of the first times he publicly was admitting the fight that was in front of him. Because before he was kind of keeping it kind of low. But you guys, the love that you showed him, he kind of came out to everybody and said, "Hey, this is serious." So I appreciate you guys for doing that for Ferg.
Yeah, you know, it was because it really was it was finally giving back to him all the love, you know, that he had given us. You know, it was a night of, you know, we cried, we laughed, we joked, you know, even all the rest of you in karate, if you weren't there, you know, Kevin, when he came on, the first thing he wanted to say, tell everybody is that, you know, he was the baddest, I'm the baddest one. I don't care what y'all say. You know? You know.
That's because everybody was on mute. Okay, but if you thought that was something of me saying that, y'all wait till Melvin Brown gets in here. Yeah, the show's about to start. Okay, Daryl, he went out again. So let Melvin know we bringing him in. He just has to wait, Daryl.
Hey, real quick. I remember one time Ferg was taking me home and he had an orange BMW and he was taking me home and we was coming down close to my house. It was snowing a little bit, but he was gunning it because he had something to do. And we spent out, went up into somebody's grass, tore up their grass. He looked around, put it in drive, and we rolled out. And he was like, "Don't tell your parents. I just told my mother the other day."
let me get my wait. Hey, Ron.
Hey,
that's not to mention the escapades we had in the Volkswagen with no windshield wipers in the rain. Somebody sitting up there with a cord pulling them across.
Oh, he had a cord.
Yeah, the cord for the windshield wiper.
And it was about 15 of us in it.
Oh,
in a Volkswagen.
I wanted y'all to make sure this is the son here. Right, this is the son that got disqualified. Racism, that was racism. In New Orleans. I got my case of Southern hospitality down there.
Hey, you went down there with the Ken Ferguson techniques. They wasn't ready for that.
Right.
We'll make a tournament change the rules.
You can't be knocking out white people, man.
White boys like
See, here y'all go. All right, brother Silas, we appreciate it. Hey, and good seeing your son. But I think Keith holds the record for getting disqualified.
Without a doubt.
Fun, but hey, I'm putting them that GoFundMe because let's do all we can for the brother, man, because he did a lot for us.
All right, we appreciate it. Love you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
All right,
man.
All right.
Daryl, I'll let you tell your story, and we're going to call Melvin because Melvin has been back in again and dropped back out. So the next time he comes in, I'm going to let him in. But and go ahead and tell your story, and I'm going to call Melvin.
Remember how every time we used to gather at your mom's house, Chill?
Yep.
And we sit there, we eat. And I remember anytime Kenny would roll up there, if you're eating something, he would just snatch off your plate and start eating it. So one time we called him over for something. He was coming, and I happened to be eating Oreos, and I knew what he was gonna do. So I got your mother's peppers that she used to have over the sink. I took it apart and I put it in a cookie and put the top back on it. And he came and he snatched it. He was like, he was chewing, he was going, RUMF.
Nice.
Oh yeah, we got him that one.
Oh man. So Daryl, if you can call Melvin, tell him to come back. I don't know how I got a second
I text that fool.
He might have hacked it and tried to get in as me. I don't know how I got a second thing in here. But text him, tell him to come back again. But again, for the people who are, and I'm seeing that people are watching us and joining us on Facebook. Please feel free to share this. My man Kevin Glenn. Kevin Glenn. I remember Kevin Glenn's son was in the class, so and that's what he's saying.
That's his name.
Son. My man Carlin, my good Kappa brother, my little brother Carlin Warren. Carlin was in the class with Ferg. Carlin is saying that Ken taught us discipline and consistency.
Yep.
So what's going on to Sister Seisha? For all the people that's watching, please, not only if you can share this, but for sure share the GoFundMe link that's in the description box. If you can. And let me see. I had a Ken Ferguson story, but I was gonna tell a Keith. Man, let me tell you something. I before I go to again, but go ahead and please share the GoFundMe. We're doing this for our sensei, Ken Ferguson, and Keith, if you can, you are the martial arts historian here. Can you and people know Ken Ferguson all over the city, man. So many people just see and call him Sensei. Mm-hmm. And I know that they translated around here colloquially as teacher, but Sensei is a lot more than that. And if you could share a little bit of information on the beginnings of karate, of the relationship between Sensei and student, could you please do that?
Well, Sensei, literal translation means one who has gone before. So looking at it from that, Kenny set the standard for all of us. He is one who had gone before. So what he taught us gave us a standard that I would believe many of us have followed throughout our lives. Whatever endeavor we have taken upon ourselves, some people may say that we're arrogant, but we believed we were the best. And in everything we do, we say we're the best.
Go hard or go home.
Hey, each one of us has excelled in our lives. We joke about it, but you look at where we are in our lives. The foundation that Kenny set for us, that Kenny gave us, we have excelled to this day. Many of us have gone on to be teachers, have our own students, and our students have excelled in what they do. My oldest son is an independent filmmaker right here in Cleveland. I'm amazed at what he does. I have a student out in Vegas, 8th degree black belt, teaches classes. By Kenny setting the example for us and the standard, we have carried that on and passed it on. So when you look at the word sensei, one who has gone before, they set the standard, and each of us also is a sensei. I'm listening to the stories that each one is told, and no matter what era of Kenny's life, it is still the same. He is taught the same principles, precepts, and concepts to each and every one of us.
Wow. That's what's up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
And you know, Daryl and I see
Definitely.
Daryl unmuting his mic, but I wanted to say that Daryl and I were talking the other day, and me and Melvin talk about this, and Gino's gonna know the truth, and Lee is gonna know this is true. Like when you see the movie, when you saw the initial movie, The Karate Kid, and you know when you do the wax on, wax off, and you continue to do it, and you continue to do it, and then when it's time to do it, it comes naturally. People, and I'm not going to give away too many secrets of what made us so dynamic, because certainly there is a tradition of the way that you are taught things that makes us a little different than everybody else.
Definitely.
Because me, for one, you know, I learned how to do different techniques, the same karate techniques that are the same karate techniques. I learned how to do them from other schools, but it's a way that Ferg taught these techniques that is just different, and the outcome is different, and then the result is not only different because of the foundation that he taught us, but what Daryl talks about all the time, we hold each other accountable for those techniques. And when you got to sit around and fight, when everybody in your class is a national, state, city champion, the people who you sparring with every day, and your instructor is a world competitor, and these are the people that you are fighting every day.
Right.
You can't help but to get better. But my wax on, wax off analogy is when I first came to Ferg, he was teaching a technique that was the first part of beginning a reverse punch. It wasn't a reverse punch part. It was about 4 different levels prior to the punch.
Before that, yeah.
Before that, he broke down the mechanics of a punch that is taught in every karate school. And I'm not talking about the first part of the punch. I'm talking about like the first part. If the reverse punch is taught in 4 steps, we learned the first step for about 3 weeks, every day, all day long. That's all we did. At one point, I was like, are we going to do some karate here at this karate school? But we did the first part of that punch. And just not to give too much secret away, the part that you learn initially is to cover the distance between where you're at and where the person you're going to punch is at. Not the punch.
Yeah.
Like my man say, not practice.
Practice.
So when you actually got ready to do the punch, it was second nature.
Right.
And that's one of the things you can tell, like one of Ferguson's students is that reverse punch, but they don't know all that you had to go through to get to the punch part of the reverse punch. And it's an incredible, amazing thing. But as we talk about, that's the foundation for everything. Everything you want to do in life, you have to break it down to the fundamentals, to the foundations.
Life is in the details.
It's in the details. And until you get the first part together, I wanted to, like, when we get into the punch part, and I had to learn 5 other things before I can actually punch somebody. But when I did learn that punch, that's a whole nother experience.
That was it.
You know, I'm listening to you and Keith in particular, and as we gather to honor Kenny, I think we ought to pay homage to his sensei, Mr. V.
AEV.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that man, you know, he touched Kenny's life in a very profound way.
Yeah.
And they had a lifelong relationship. And we are a part of Mr. V's tree.
Right. And since you brought that up, I know Daryl and Keith and Gino are thinking about Ron Shaw.
Ron Shaw.
You know, Ferg's original sensei at Kent State.
Who was world renowned.
He was the 4th ranked middleweight in the world when Chuck Norris was world champion.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, me and Gino were at Severance Mall when Chuck Norris' first solo movie came out, Good Guys Wear Black. And he was at Severance Mall. And nobody knew him but me and Gino. Chuck Norris is just walking around the mall. And me and Gino like, that's Chuck Norris. And we went over to talk to him. And we told him we were martial art. You remember that, Gino?
Yeah, I remember it clearly.
And we went over and we talked to
He
Chuck
wasn't no
Norris.
bigger than us.
Yeah, that's another thing. Chuck Norris is a little dude.
I remember that. I remember him.
And Chuck Norris, I'm thinking like if Chuck Norris is little, how big was Bruce Lee?
Right.
Bruce Lee was short too.
I mean, Chuck Norris was a little dude. And so we told Chuck, like, you know, we were, you know, martial artists and champions. So he said, who's your instructor? We said, Ken Ferguson. He said, well, I don't know him. He said, who was his instructor? And we said, Ron Shaw. He was like, oh, okay. I know Ron Shaw. I know Ron Shaw, like, oh, one of the baddest dudes. But, and we could talk about Ron, but you know what Ferg and what Leah was talking about, Ferg learned the business of karate from AEV, from Master Grandmaster AEV. Ferg learned the business of karate. And
I always remember he always told you to be on your best behavior. That's when he rounded us up.
Yeah.
If you knew V was coming.
And Kenny used that business model all throughout his life.
Yeah, he did.
And one of the things that I know that he learned from Mr. V, anytime Kenny opened up any type of business, what he learned from AEV, and I don't know this for sure, but I think because that's an AEV, it's not his actual name.
Right.
But I think he might have named himself that so his name would appear first in different things, because Ferg always end up naming his entertainment companies AAA Entertainment but he did that so his name and his company would appear first in any listings.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something he learned from V that transformed martial arts into his other businesses. So Mr. V definitely set Kenny up with a business model that he used throughout his time in martial arts, because, you know, and hats off to his students at the dojo, because Ferg was like, you know, teaching for free is cool, but I gotta make some loot. Messing around with y'all,
you know.
And money he made too.
Got you under contract.
I know.
Right.
And you had to put money down.
That's right.
It was like something like 500 down and 60 a month.
Okay, don't be giving his secrets away there, Kim.
But he definitely got that from V. He learned that from V.
Did you tell Melvin to come back?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But who knows Melvin doing?
but yeah, I'm sure that everybody and I know one time somebody said something about Ferg, and we all would joke that Ferg was really a relaxed dude. But when you pissed him off, you always knew when it was coming. Because what would he do, Daryl?
Stop rubbing that nose.
If he start rubbing his nose, it's about to be a problem.
You rub his nose and then smile.
Yeah.
The time he chased me with the sledgehammer.
Oh, you talking about when you punched him?
Yeah.
Did y'all know Keith punched Kenny and ran?
No.
He had to.
Yeah. Kenny said he was going to promote me to black belt. And I don't know what we were arguing about. We were over Mama Heard's house in the parking lot. And he made me mad, so I punched him. And he went to the trunk and got a sledgehammer.
Hey, recently we went, and Ferg is renowned for having a zillion kids in his car, in a car that, you know, holds like 3 people. But we went to the drive-in. He took us to the drive-in, and so in a van, and it had to be 30 of us in this van. And he pulled up at the drive-in, the Miles Drive-In. Okay, first of all, Ferg had like 5 billion vans.
That's true.
Right. The van you knew, we probably had like 12 vans prior.
Right, that's true.
But he rolled up and he was like, okay, it's 2 people. He paid for 2 people. And we in the back, we under like blankets, a tire, and we hiding. And we pull into the, in a little spot in the drive-in, Miles drive-in next to the speaker. And the doors flew open and like 30 kids ran out. We running all through the Miles drive-in. We knocking on other people's windows. We jumping on the little horsey things that was in the front.
Oh shit!
We in the food, like yeah. First, okay, I'm not even going to tell the story about when we would go to OJK. Now everybody knows.
Oh yeah, I know OJK.
Ohio Judo and Karate, which later became LJK. Some people know it as Lakewood.
Lakewood,
right? Lakewood with
right,
the grand champion belt.
But when
I got a bunch of those.
When we originally went there, it was OJK. It was Ohio Judo and Karate. But the thing is that we would bring in an entire karate school and none of us would pay. One person would go in and pay and then open the back door. And you would go in the back door, go down and change clothes, and then come in and put your gi on and then come in and fight. Now, we had that going good for like a year, 2 years. The problem, let me tell you this, Dakota, the problem was one tournament, they gave an award. They gave 2 awards. For the school with the most students, they got a great big giant award. And then they gave a award for the school that had the most winning students. And they would give points. You came in first, second, third, you get amount of, and they would tally the points. Right. So Dan Soward, he was the head of, instructor at OJK, Dan Soward. He said in the school that had the most winning students is Ken Ferguson. They won first place in every division available. And we like, yeah. He said, but we got one problem. We don't have record of none of them a nickel. So Ferg, come see me in the front. Let's work this out and we'll give your school the trophy. Man, we won all the trophies and hadn't paid a dime. He was like, y'all won the most trophies, but we don't have a record of none of y'all paying.
That's true.
The jig was up.
Oh, man.
Daryl, do you remember that?
Oh, that is so true. And it happened so many times. Matter of fact, we would go to that tournament with no money.
Didn't intend on paying.
Yeah.
They were planning on it.
The few dollars we did have, it was for McDonald's after the tournament was over.
Yep.
Okay, anybody know Regaldo Treadwell? I'm about to let him in. Somebody please call Melvin, because if you don't get in, we go hear about it.
But I got a quick story if I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Marcus Ford, when I left his school and I went to Ferguson's, Ken's, he didn't like that. He wasn't a fan of that. So every time we went to a tournament that Karate Institute hosted or Lakewood or somewhere, I think it was actually Lakewood.
Yeah, because it was there.
It was there. So one time the kid that I had a little rival with from Karate Institute, his mama was keeping score. So she actually cheated me out of my points, even though I won. She changed it on the scorecard. The judges found out he took the trophy home, everything. I got second place, he took the trophy home, and the judges found out about it. And I had to go over to Karamu House where he took karate, and he actually had to give me my trophy back in front of his whole school and bow out. And it was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was one of the moments though, I just never forget. I never forget that.
Right. Okay, so whoever the Regaldo Treadwell, I see you trying to come in. I'll let you in, but you need to get your microphone on and your camera on. But please, and again, okay, Daryl, I'm not playing. Somebody please tell Melvin, because I'm not dealing with Melvin.
I just got off the phone when he was driving. He's going to pull over and get back in.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. So if Regaldo Treadwell, if you can come back in, get your camera on, get your microphone on, we'd be glad to let you in. But again, for the people that are watching, and we have a lot of people listening and enjoying on Facebook, they're watching us, they're enjoying what we're talking about. Again, we're doing this for our sensei, for our instructor, the one who came before us, grandmaster Sensei Ken Ferguson. He's fighting a very aggressive cancer. It costs a lot of money. Lord knows he's done so much for everybody else in our community at a discount, for free, for a bag of potato chips, for a good story. Ferg hook you up. So he's taught Sunday school classes.
Yeah.
He's taught. He showed up to every single. What's some things you have at your schools where you
Career day.
Career day. I did. Yeah, he came to McCranwood when I was like in the 6th grade.
He Ken Ferguson shows up for you. So it's time for us to show up for him. If you could put something to donate to the GoFundMe. If not, please share the GoFundMe link and let people know what we're dealing with, and it gives more information about Ferguson. I do want to say that man, the brothers, like I knew Keith my entire life, but like Gino, well, Melvin will be on. That's a whole nother story. But Gino and Daryl, my brothers, I grew up with these guys. It was a lot more than martial arts, and this was something that Ferg, put us together. And it is something that we were kids in the martial arts, going to tournaments and look at us now. We got gray beards and it started back in the early 70s. Early 70s, and here is 2020. Wow. And this how we still get down, and we still, Keith and Leah and Kim, and I'm glad to see Derek here. I'm glad to see Stacy up in here. But Ferg created an environment for a family. And all of his other students, I like my brothers, Ronnie Knight and Eric Nelson and those cats and all of his other students that he's had. We all share that common bond, and we all share those Ken Ferguson stories. And
Bernard Tatum.
Oh yeah.
I remember.
And all the other, and I want to give a shout out to all of his other instructors. Because a lot of people had different, Ken is the main instructor, but anybody can be called to duty.
Yeah.
I was 12. I was 12 teaching class like
I was 14.
And
I was 14.
So help me shout out some of the other instructors.
Danny Robertson.
Danny Roberson. D. Cheney.
I remember Cheney. Yes.
Who else? Mr. Roll.
Yeah, Wilbur Roll.
Yeah.
Barry.
Weldon Berry.
Well, hey, let me tell you something.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Berry, Kim. Let me tell you what kind of dude Ken Ferguson is.
Why are you sitting there?
Okay, there's Treadwell. We go get you in. Let me see. Do you have a mic? Nope, you just have a camera. So Regaldo Treadwell, you just have a camera, but you don't have a mic on yet. And Keith, whoever you're talking to, you need to go on mute if you have another conversation.
You can mute him.
I know, but I'm not muting Keith. He ain't coming to get me. He got muted. But he's a pistol packing pastor who knows some chokeholds. But Mr. Berry, this kind of dude Ferg is. Berry was on his last days in the hospital. Ferg got a call that Mr. Berry was really not doing well and was literally in his last days in the hospital. Ferg called me. He said, "Come on, Kevin Hurd, we're going up to see Weldon Berry." And I don't know if I officially gave him his black belt certificate. I know he taught for me for many years. Okay, because first of all, you don't even have to be a black belt to teach for Ferguson. If you know the techniques, get out there and teach. but Barry was one of those cats that really taught Ken Ferguson classes.
Mhm.
And he said, man, I don't know if I gave Mr. Barry his official black belt certificate. He said, I want you to go with me. I'm gonna present him with a certificate. I'm like, in the hospital? He said, yeah, I really want to do this for him. And I was like, okay, I rode with you. I don't know, if you're really gonna be thinking about that. Man, let me tell you something. Mr. Barry was honored. He loved that. And Ferg came and presented him with his black belt certificate. And man, it was like a touching moment. He told Ferg, thank you. And I mean, at that time, I think Mr. Barry might have had like 4 days to live after that. Wow. But Ferg was like, man, I got to go give him his black belt certificate. And I'm thinking like, man, he might not really be worried about that right now. Man, that dude was honored.
Loved it.
He thank you. He shed a tear. Man, I was in there crying. I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, man, Mr. Barry was one of those teachers, and I was glad that Ferg was able to get him his official certificate. Because it meant something. It meant something to him. We're still trying to get Rigaldo Treadwell. I see you trying to work it out, but you still don't have audio. You have visual, but you don't have audio. Well, he had another sister who was teaching, the dark-skinned sister who I think came from Jamal's. What was her name?
Ooh, I remember her.
I remember her too. I know. Oh man.
And she taught.
Adele? No.
She taught. She taught for a long time, because when I first started coming back there, she was the head instructor.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And I think a dark-skinned sister. I cannot think, and I think she came from Jamal's school.
She did. I can't remember her name though.
Yeah, but she taught. What was Shirley? Shirley taught, and her husband that became her husband. What's that brother's name?
Oh yeah, Daryl.
Daryl Goggins.
Daryl Goggins.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl Goggins taught classes. Who else? A couple other. I don't want to miss any of the other teachers that taught classes.
Did Mr. Hale teach?
He taught a little bit.
Yeah, he taught some. And somebody else. It was a woman who had a daughter in the class. It was a mother and daughter in the class. Kim, you should remember them.
Miss Smiley?
Yes,
Oh,
Smiley.
Yeah, Jessica Smiley and
and speaking of my girl June. June taught classes. I don't know. I used to call her June Kazama. Her father was a mailman. She was a young girl, but she could fight.
June Witt.
I believe dark-skinned sister.
Yeah, June Witt.
Yeah.
I think that was her last name, Witt.
Yeah, she was teaching classes for Ferg for a while. And of course Steve, because when I first brought my son, when I first brought my son Daniel to the classes, Danny and then Steve was teaching the class. Okay, now it's game time, y'all. Melvin Brown is back. Okay, all the people that's watching on Facebook, it's about to get real. Let me let Melvin Brown in the room. Let's see how this goes. All right, he's coming in. There he is. Okay, let's see. There you are. Where's Melvin? I saw him in there. He's connecting the audio. He's almost there. His audio is connected. We see Melvin. You can hear us. Wave your hand, a thumbs up or something if you can hear us. Okay, he's back
on
out.
Mute.
Oh
there
no,
he is. He's on mute.
Okay, Melvin, can you unmute yourself?
Which might be the best situation for him.
That might be the best. We might want to leave it. Okay, he's unmuted now. Melvin Brown, how are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to make it in this mean, cruel world. You know what it is.
All right. I do want to, since we were introducing, the senior black belts of his students, you weren't here at the time, but and again, we're doing this for our instructor, our sensei, Ken Ferguson. If you can see the GoFundMe link in the description box, please share it. Share the GoFundMe. If you can donate, please donate. We know this is tough times. If nothing else, please share his GoFundMe, and you can share this what we're doing right now. But you know, we have a famous. I don't know if any of you seen the famous painting. There is a painting that has been in different. The painting has traveled to different of his facilities, but the painting it's 4 of us plus Ferg, and they hail that painting as 4 of his toughest competitors, his champions, national champions, and all 4 people are in that painting are here right now. Myself, Daryl, Melvin, and Gino. And so Melvin, what we've been doing is first initially introducing ourselves, let them know who we are. Kim, you might want to go on mute while you ordering pancakes, whatever that is you're doing, ordering a Postmates. Okay, anyhow, give your story about first Melvin meeting Ken Ferguson, first meeting us, and what that has meant to you as we're trying to draw awareness to Ferg now needing us. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll introduce to you the one and only Melvin Hound Dog Brown. You got the mic, Melvin.
That's right. That's right. Oh my goodness, where do I begin? You know, well, when I first met Kenny, you know, Kenny reminded me of Jim Kelly. When I saw Kenny at the tournament, I used to always think about Jim Kelly. What I liked how brave he was. I don't think he ran from anyone, and I never saw him get beat at a tournament ever, never. Everybody he went against, if he lost in points, he beat them to smithereens. So I always was an admiration of Ken. Then Ken used to bring some cronies with him to tournaments. I guess a little Gino and Daryl and all them, who emulated Kenny, but
did Melvin freeze up, or is that Daryl doing that to Melvin?
That's Melvin. There is a God.
Y'all leave Melvin alone.
And Melvin is at his best behavior right now, by the way. I just want y'all to know. Okay, Melvin, you back? You froze out on us for a second.
I was at Cleveland Academy, and we had lunch there. But after Cleveland Academy, was time for me to leave. I wanted to improve my game better.
Hey, Melvin, I hate to interrupt you, but not only have we lost your visuals, but your audio is raggedy. So you may want to wait till you get to somewhere with a stronger Wi-Fi, or pull up next to a McDonald's or something, and get your Wi-Fi signal.
I'll call you back. Let's get to that. All right.
Yeah, I want people to hear you, because Melvin has a powerful story, and he's definitely an interesting brother.
Hey, Chill. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking and looking at everybody that's on here, and how cyclical things have been in our training and our upcoming. Because I know when I first came there, I learned my katas from Leah.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
You know, we learned from Leah. Went up there, and you know, she teaching me the katas.
Man, I ain't been giving Leah her full credits, man.
Kevin, you still mad because I knocked you out. It's all good. Knocked you out. I'm 12 and I knocked you out. You spinning, arms flying back.
Yeah.
I saw you in slow motion as I knocked you out.
It was an uppercut.
Damn. And you know, I wasn't even known for my upper body.
Yeah.
I was known for my legs.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't right.
See, that's why you hating, Kevin, but it's all good.
Y'all ain't right, man. Y'all are not right, Leah. I didn't think he's gonna do me like that, Leah.
Well. But no, I mean, I was teaching at 12, 13, 14 too.
Yeah.
Leading classes. And if I didn't know anything, I knew form.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you knew more than form. Man, I saw Leah sidekick this girl one time. Oh my God. It was, man, she knocked this girl out the ring, and She knocked that girl into a whole nother tournament.
Wow.
She knocked that girl into another division. She knocked that girl in the men's brown belt division. She in the middle of a different ring. I'm like, oh my goodness. But okay, so now I got to tell the story. Since y'all just gonna make me tell the Leah knocked me out story. As you know, that we were well, you might not know, we were renowned, man. We gave some of the most dynamic demonstrations the world has ever seen, and we had fun doing it. And we did these demonstrations everywhere. Man, we did a demonstration at the Cleveland Cavaliers game. That Joe Tate, the late great Joe Tate, came back on the air and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if we coming back from break. I don't know if you saw that demonstration, but that's one of the greatest demonstrations we've ever seen at the Richfield Coliseum." And we gave demonstrations all over. And one of our most famous routines. Okay, whoever needs to be on mute, making all that noise. And Kim, Lord have mercy. Kim,
she's ordering that Sichuan chicken.
Kim, okay, at least watch it. Keep your camera view. Know what we seeing. So
what y'all seeing? You ain't saying nothing.
You're trying to make this a whole different type of show, Kim.
My daughter is talking to me. I am so sorry.
You just need to be aware. Zoom etiquette. Know your camera view.
Oh my God. I am so sorry.
I know we're trying to get people to pay attention to the show, but geez, we're not trying to do it that way, Kim. But anyhow, Daryl, crack it up. Anyway, so we had this one specific routine. We called it the Rocky routine because we did it to the music of the rock. I
remember the Rocky routine.
We would form a circle and we would turn and we would do the most dynamic techniques to each person, and we turn and we do the next technique to that next person, and they would turn and do the next technique to the other person. And then Ferg would start it off, and then after we would go around twice with the best dynamic techniques that we had, we would grab weapons.
Right.
Ferg would have his bow, and we would be in the middle. And we had sais, nunchucks, bows. I think we had everything but a 3-sectional staff. But so we would do it, and Ferg would boop, 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 and he would do all the techniques to us. So I was always paired in this routine with Leah. And so I would turn and I would do a technique. I think I did some type of fly axe kick or spin kick to whoever was, in front of me. Then I would turn and I would do a chokehold on Leah. And she would do some fancy technique and would break the chokehold and do like an uppercut. Okay, now it's a karate uppercut, and then there's an uppercut from Mississippi.
Wow.
On this particular day, now me and Leah, we done this all kinds of times.
Yeah.
But on this day, I choke Leah. She leans back and hits me with an uppercut from Africa.
Wow.
And I'm talking about I'm cold, unconscious. I'm connected. Oh, she connected. Please don't believe that these techniques really don't work. I was asleep. I saw sheep jumping over my head. On the cartoon, when you see the stars, the little stars twinkling above your head, I was out so long that we went around twice because we do it twice. We do the technique twice. When it came to my turn, I was still on the ground, and the person that I was supposed to do the technique to, they looking like Cal's still on the ground. So Leah looking like she can't do her technique because I'm still on the ground. So by the time we go around twice and everybody grabs their weapons, I'm finally getting up. And when I say getting up, it's still debatable. I'm like, you can see this was on film. You can see me kind of like on one knee. When cats get knocked out, they trying to find their mouthpiece. I'm looking for my nunchucks, and I'm trying to find them, and I'm still like groggy. And we finished the whole routine, and I was not a participant in it But we finished. We was bowing out. I'm walking around looking for a blanket or something. And the very worst part about it, it was filmed. They were showing this like every day. I come in and
The
they
Menace
like,
to Society tape.
in slow motion, like, okay, watch this. And you see Leah like tick, 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 bow. Tick, tick, tick. And they laughing because I'm rolling around on the ground. Man, I'm letting y'all know. Y'all wasn't right. And Daryl and Gino, y'all was the main ones laughing at me, man.
Hey, but here's what made it funny. When it happened, nobody knew it. Nobody knew it.
Leah knew it.
I just seen him laying on the ground.
He was like, pow.
And you really were in slow motion, Kev. It was fascinating to watch.
It was like the Matrix.
It was.
I was like, whoa.
And I was what, 14, Kevin?
You might not even have been 4. Man, Leah hit like a grown woman, man. I think Leah was like 12 or 13. Man, please.
Ooh, that was good.
No, but to see everybody though, that's good. I mean, Pigtail, Stacy Collier, Derek DeCluid, Akers, everybody coming on. And that's not half of the people that and Jen, you're talking about Kenny's karate students, then the flashers, because we used to work out after the class was over. It was crazy. And so I even took the principles from that. And when I started coaching track, and I took mishap track programs and made them some of the top track programs in the city, with the principles and the mindset that we had from karate. That translated over.
Gino, stop that. Gino was singing that song. One time we were doing the Rocky demonstration. Okay, first of all, I don't want to cut your wisdom, Daryl. See, Gino, you started that. Go ahead and finish, Daryl. I want to talk about the show wagon that we did at the project.
But yeah, that translated over into the other venture that I had in coaching track, high school track, and United States Track and Field and AAU track. We were able to create some athletes that had the same type of mindset in the sport of track and field. So that translated for all that we did from each other, and I appreciate everybody, because as much as that people learn from us, we learn from them. Because I remember the Stooges, man, them dudes was off the hook.
The Stooges, for the people who need to know, because when Kenny opened up his school, he had a group of kids that, man, they reminded us of like me, Keith, Daryl, Gino, Melvin. They reminded us they were like really tight. They were best friends. They hung together and they started off young, and we would call them the Stooges. Ronnie Knight, Eric Nelson, David
Mike
Love,
Robinson.
Mike Robinson.
Yeah.
They reminded us of us when we were coming up. They might have been a little wilder. Those were my boy. I love them dudes. But yeah, you're right, Daryl. You're right. And again, Ferg put all that together. But Gino is singing a song. We did a Rocky demonstration one time, and we couldn't find the Rocky music to do it to. And we did it, and whatever that song was that Gino was just singing.
You are the one.
I don't know what they were saying. And we are cracking up throughout the entire demonstration. But we did, and we used to participate, and people in Cleveland back in the day, they should remember the show wagon. And we came up doing karate demonstrations. People were on the show wagon. They would sing, they would dance. I remember, what's the girl's name? Melinda Robusto, and some other girl and her brother. I think that one lady the one lady was a little girl. She ended up taking over the show wagon, but she was a little girl when we were doing it. But we would do the show wagon. And I remember one time we did it. I forgot what projects we were at. And you know, we were only like for a lot of times it was only like 2 sets of black kids on the show wagon. It was our karate demonstration, and it was the dancing group. And so we were out. I don't know. We might have been in what's the project? The good for real one.
King Kennedy.
More. I think we were Morris Black.
Morris Black.
Morris Black. Oh my
Morris
God.
Black.
Yeah.
And it might. But anyway, we did, and it got kind of dark because you know the show wagon. We do it for a while, and they had like little lights. Man, them white kids was like, it's time to pack this up. It was starting to get a little. And that might have been the time we rode the bus to the show wagon one time. We called a bus to a demonstration. But no, Daryl, you're absolutely right, because it's times, and I talk to Melvin about this sometimes, when we apply martial arts principles or competition principles to solve solutions,
right,
everyday solutions. And sometimes Melvin will say, you know, I was in this situation at my job. It was sudden death, overtime, first point win. Now, when he says that, understand the scenario. He's using a martial arts scenario to call attention to the environment that he's in and the options that he has. So when he's saying it's a tie score, sudden death, overtime, first point wins. He said, you know what I did, right? And we're not even talking about an actual karate tournament.
Right.
And I said, yep, over the
OT.
top. OT. And he said, right. And he went on to describe an actual work challenge and how he overcome it. Not only was he using karate principles, we're talking about it in karate competition terminology. And I thought that was interesting. And I know anybody who studied the martial arts, a lot of times will draw on those lessons and the attitude. And what you heard everybody say is Ferg has that you cannot lose. Don't lose. And like Daryl said earlier, we came up, and Keith said it, knowing that we were the best that was there, no matter where we were at, not just in Cleveland or wherever and we traveled, you know, the nation and inevitably the world, and always felt that we were the absolute best. And the most times we were. But again, it's a testament to Ferguson, to each other, who we train with each other, hold each other accountable. And I know that we use those principles, like Daryl was saying, even today. So, you know, I appreciate Ken. I appreciate you guys. And again, you know, I want to wait for Melvin, but if we don't get him before we close down again, please share the GoFundMe for Kenny Ferguson, our sensei, who's definitely in the fight of his life, but he definitely needs our help. So if you can contribute to his GoFundMe, if you can't, please share the GoFundMe on your page, on your social media, on your Facebook or your Instagram or your Twitter, and let people know, because it does a good job. The GoFundMe, his page, does a good job of letting people know who he is. And some people just may know his name and know that he's a martial artist, but not actually know
him.
Not just his accomplishments in martial arts, which are incredible. People they just know Ken Ferguson has a karate school in Cleveland, but they don't know that, first of all, he was, and this was something I didn't know. I don't know if you guys knew. He was the first AAU national champion. That the AAU that he competed in and he won was the first one they had when it became the AAU. And so he was the first AAU national champion, and and fought his way on to the United States team for some ridiculous amount of time. I think he was on the United States team from 1975 to 1992. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. He was on, and probably 3 or 4 years in, he had to fight his way on the team, because you get on the team 2 different ways. They choose you, they select you, or you fight your way on. You go to the team trials, you come in first or second, you're automatically on the team. And after a while, they was like, Ferg, we need some other people to get some international experience. We're gonna put somebody else in your spot. And he's like, no, y'all not. I'll just fight my way on. And he fought his way on for like 12 years. That's a record that will never, ever be broken. Nobody's, who's my mathematician on there? 1975, 1992. How many years is that?
Well, 75 to 85.
10.
That's 10 years.
That's a shame that we got to do that to
17.
get
17.
There you go. I knew Gina was gonna come up with it. 17 years, almost 20 years
Almost 20.
of being on the United States team. That's a record that will probably never ever be broken. And don't even talk about his students, how many national champions, we were some of his first, national champions. But he trained many after us. DeCluitt just said that he won like 2.
Yeah, he won it back to back.
Back to back. And so he trained many national champions after us. When I say national champions, I'm not talking about like some fake
Kevin Smith.
A lot, little Kevin. But yeah, a lot of these people, schools, this is the for real national. This is the verified AAU All-American. And if there was some bootleg national and state champions, we won those too. I mean, I'm not just counting the official AAU. We won the USK Grand Nationals. We won the AK Grand Nationals.
Yeah.
We won the PKA Professional Karate Association Grand Nationals. We won Battle of Atlanta. We won. So all the other things that will be considered national championships, we won those too.
Yeah.
But it was a testament to our foundation and the environment that Ken Ferguson created, which was just something abnormal. I don't know, Daryl, maybe you can describe it, or Leah, or so. It was just something different. The environment was different, and we took it for granted at the time. But Daryl was talking about, looking back. Daryl, tell them when you said you look back at it and realize what we actually went through.
Yeah, I remember when I came home from the Marine Corps in 1987, and I remember Kenny had a student up at the school, and his mother was a teacher, and Kenny was talking about me coming back, and she wanted me to speak at the school, DeSource, down off Miles or someplace, and I went there to speak. And they introduced me, karate champ, this and that from the Marine Corps. And the guy said a world-class athlete. And I'm wondering who he's talking about. But I've never considered us as world-class athletes. I never thought about it. Because when we did it, we were having fun. We were just a group of young kids having fun together. And we wasn't looking for that accolades. The biggest thing we wanted to see was our name in Karate Illustrated.
Right.
The magazine.
Right.
That's what we looked at and see where our rankings. But when I thought about it, when he introduced me, I said, I guess we were world-class athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And had they had sponsorships back then like they do today, had they had scholarships in colleges back in those days, we would have had them if they had it for karate.
For karate.
Yeah.
I want to just chime in on what Daryl said about having fun. If the truth is told, he's right. We were world-class athletes. I don't think any of us thought of ourselves in that way because we were just having fun. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we had confidence, but I don't think anybody could call us arrogant because of the joy that we just embodied. We always had a good time. I don't care how serious practice was. I don't care how tough it was. Yeah, we might have been angry at times because of what we experienced, but there was always fun and joy to be had. And I think that the experience has built up in all of us a sense of confidence that is just natural. It's just innate. I mean, none of us look at challenges like, oh my God, I can't do that.
Right.
No, we do it. It's like, okay, this is what we do. We just sharpen our skills and we're overcomers. And not only are we overcomers, we really are champions.
Yeah, you're right. And you know, I just thought about something. I would be remiss. We're missing an instructor, a black belt, a multiple national champion, one of the hardest hitters of us all. Man, how can I forget Justin Ferguson?
Oh yeah.
Man, Justin, Kenny's son, Justin, man, fought fights so much like his father, but it was such a an expanse of time between Kenny really competing and Justin. I don't think that they really saw the comparison in themselves. But if you went to see Justin fight and you've seen, you know, his father fight, it's inevitable that you see the comparison, not just in speed, not just in technique, but that drive of that competitive spirit, man. Justin's not gonna take a loss. Like you fight Justin Ferguson in any division, from kid to adulthood. And I'll save, you know, for when Justin's here, I'm sure we'll do this again, because I got like one good Justin Ferguson story where he beat this dude that was like on break from the world champ. This dude was like a world champion and showed up at a tournament thinking he was gonna get an easy win and some money, not knowing that Justin Ferguson was there, who hadn't Justin decided to fight just so his son, because his son Nicholas had never seen Justin fight in a tournament. Justin had long retired, and so I just want to fight one more time for my son to see. But, and I'll tell this story later, but what they didn't know is that a world champion just walked in the building because his father was sick and didn't go to the world championships, but just came to pick up an easy $500 at a tournament in Akron, not knowing that Justin Ferguson had put his karate suit on. So I'll save that story, but I didn't want the champions and the black belts and instructors to go by without shouting out my man Jay Ferg. Just as fierce as a competitor as any of us. But I do want to add again, Leah, when you talk about we having fun, man, I remember when we were in Hackensack, New Jersey. It was AAU Nationals. And I want to say that we stayed at one of your relatives' house. And this was my second national championship. And shout out to my mother who's watching the show right now. Okay, see, I got jokes about me getting knocked out by Leah. I'm looking in the thread. Okay. Anyhow, that wasn't right, Leah Lewis. But I don't know if you remember this, Leah. We stayed up all night at your relative's house playing this game called
Zim
Zam. It was Zim Zam, where you would hit like it was like a wiffle ball paddle on a ball on a tether. Man, we hit this thing all night. It was out in the backyard until it got dark. I don't know what that did, but it loosened up my arm reflex. Because when I got to the tournament that next day, man, I was dropping every cat that I fought left out with broken ribs. I mean, I was used to hit hard, but I think it was all night playing Zim Zam. But we're playing. I mean, we ain't out doing like ha ha ha. We out hitting a ball on a string all night, just having fun. And went to a tournament and a national championship. And I saw Leah win her second back-to-back national championship. I won my second back-to-back national championship that night, that next day in New Jersey. But I'm bringing somebody else in.
That's Melvin Brown.
Is it Melvin? It is.
Natasha Avant.
Okay.
Delaville.
Well, we ain't gonna give out none of his peoples. He's getting it together. I see he's getting some instruction. We couldn't close this down without the Melvin Brown experience. I see somebody's getting them together here. Okay, I'm gonna ask to unmute, so that means they'll see it. There we go. Melvin Hound Dog Brown, get your whole.
Yeah, let's sit over here.
Is that Andre Jackson?
Can you hear me?
Yes, get your whole head in the picture, Melvin.
I don't know, turn it up.
Melvin, you got
Turn it up. Ain't nobody care about that. I mean, they ain't gonna see that. They ain't gonna see that.
You got a gangster lean, Melvin. You in the picture.
Yeah, bring it over here. Here I come.
All right, we hear you, Melvin. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got a special guest too. Hold on.
Was that Andre Jackson?
What's up, baby?
What's up, Andre?
Hey, now what's
happening, bro? Another black belt in the building.
You already know what's happening. You know how we get down.
All right. Melvin?
Yeah.
Before
I had to get a special guest. I was gonna come along, but they bring a special guest.
All right, but before we shut it down, Melvin, you got to tell your story, how you came to Ferg, how it went down, how you got with us, and Keith is here. We know y'all done, y'all had y'all's fights back in the day, and you and Melvin, and you and Daryl. I know you still mad about the boxing ring thing, but
I fixed that though. Daryl Terry fixed that last time we fought. That's all fixed.
All right, go ahead and tell us, Melvin. How'd you meet Ferg? When you first met him? When you joined us? How'd it go down?
Well, I'll tell you. I think I told you that we saw Kenny at tournaments. Him and you guys. And we liked what you did, Kenny. Kenny was fearless. So.
And you were at another school at the time.
Cleveland Academy. Me and Andre both were. Mm-hmm. And at Cleveland Academy, it was time for me to leave. Something had occurred. So
you got thrown out.
Well, sometimes
Daryl, you already know what happened. Go ahead, man.
So I
got too much.
What?
You was talking too much smack.
Why would you laugh? Is that
Gino? That was Gino, bald head nigga.
Yeah.
What's up? Hey, Andre, we ain't gonna be dropping no M-bombs on here. All right, go ahead, Melvin.
So anyway, we were at, I saw you guys in the tournament, and I liked Kenny. And then I saw you guys, and you probably one of the friendliest people.
You said we weren't.
You had Otis, who was loud. And y'all was kind of obnoxious at times. But, I said, you were pretty good fighters. So what happened, I think when I saw you at tournaments, you guys separated yourself from everybody. But I had determined that I was going to get to know you guys on a friendly level. That's what I thought. So every tournament, while everybody was in one corner of the school, the tournament, and you guys in the other corner, I said, let me walk over here and talk to these guys. And every time I talked to you, every tournament, the meaner you guys got. Daryl was always mad about something. Gino had a fro back then. It was like the Silvers. And Keith was always trying to rip people's karate suits. I think Leah was there too. Leah, nice young lady, but she didn't smile a whole heck of a lot.
I was in fighter mode, Melvin.
Right. Whatever, Leah. All right, but she was on one. So y'all was a bunch of not friendly people. But I had said somehow these people are going to open up to me.
I'm letting you get this off, Melvin, before I give our version, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to make the best of it. So anyway, after a while, me and Daryl used to always wind up fighting each other for first and second at tournaments. At my school, I probably was one of the better ones in my division. And somehow I would always fight Daryl. Daryl can tell you more about that later. You probably got scars to show him. But anyway, me and my other karate school, we fell out for some reason. I'll explain it to you later. But anyway, I said, well, I'm going to go join another karate school. I like the fact that you guys didn't pay nothing. No we were paying $40, $30 a month. That was on tournaments. Not only was I not paying for karate, every time there was an admission fee to go to a tournament, like $15, $20, and then you had to have money for McDonald's, right? You guys never paid to fight at tournaments. I used to watch you sneak in the back door. We paying $15, $20. We 12 years, 10 years old. 12. Back then, that money meant something. Y'all had less to lose. See, we were fighting for our money. Y'all was fighting fearless because y'all ain't paid nothing. So I was kind of mad, and y'all was winning because y'all had no fear because y'all paid no money. We had to borrow money from our parents, and we went back home and didn't win. We get in trouble.
I'll be in there when I'm done.
Kim Makers, I keep telling you, you got to go on mute if you're going to have your side conversations.
All right, hold on.
Or something from Amazon in the background.
No, that's my daughter.
Whatever.
That's my daughter. I'm sorry.
Go on mute.
She put her finger up to the camera. That's not mute, Kim. Anyway, we went to the tournament, and I'm getting mad because now I'm paying my money, my loss, rare. And then we go to McDonald's. I couldn't order nothing because I only had a little bit of money left, maybe a cheeseburger. Kevin was ordering a Big Mac, a fish sandwich,
come on,
onion rings, a shake and fry.
Okay, first of all, McDonald's don't even have onion rings, man. Stop it.
You ordered 2 sandwiches and 2 fries and a drink and a shake.
Onion rings.
Kevin, no. You ordered 2 sandwiches.
No.
Kevin, you ordered a lot of food.
Let me ask Daryl something. Hey, Daryl.
You.
Now, Melvin, he done got kicked out to karate school. He want me to come down to JFK and all like that.
Oh, here's the story.
And now he go Ferguson big and everything like that. You know I ain't scared. That nigga beat my ass. He was beating my ass, stomping on me and shit, and y'all niggas laughing and shit.
Okay, hey, Andre, we are not gonna be dropping N-words and unnecessary. We already let the Clued get away with a couple of illegal words. You just are gonna stomp all over it.
Hey, you're gonna have to give him the face. You're gonna have to give him the cute face.
He didn't stomp. He stomped you one time. It wasn't a bunch. One time in speed knot. You got speed knot. We left you.
Oh, now Kenny would stomp on you.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Don't act like he ain't. He wouldn't stomp on you. If you fail, he would stomp on you.
So let me finish the story. So anyway, I left my school, and I got Andre and Raccoon. Remember Raccoon?
My man Coon, yeah, Raccoon.
Yeah, Coon. Me and Andre and Raccoon.
That's Anthony.
And we decided to join you guys, and we didn't know we was pledging. We had to pledge to get in. We came to your school into the dusty gym at the JFK Recreation Center. We were doing karate while they were playing basketball on the court. I remember that.
Yeah.
In the corner, they playing games.
You remember that.
I got next. You doing karate and doing basketball. I got next. You doing karate in between your basketball games, right? You remember that?
Of course.
Okay. So, because sometimes we doing karate and the ball wind up where we at. We throw the ball back in for them in the game. Remember that?
No.
No, you don't remember that. Anyway. Y'all brought us down there. We didn't know you had to fight every fighter and then fight Kenny.
Yeah.
Remember that? That's what happened. You didn't go to
I did it too. So it happened to me.
It was 4 people there when you did it, Kevin. It was like 15 people there when we were.
Man, you came there like
you was
4
like
months after I did.
You was like a little kid then.
Kevin, you
I was getting my butt whipped.
You did. Thank you for that cussing that time, Andre. Could y'all applaud him for that? He used no profanity that time.
I was gonna say something.
Andre, you're pushing it, bruh. You're pushing it, Dre. We let you rock this story, but okay, go ahead, Melvin.
So anyway, we had to go through. I fought at least. It wasn't fair. We was about 15, 16 years old then. I had to fight. I think I destroyed Gino and Daryl.
Oh Lord.
And then I think, Kevin, you gave me a little bit of a fight. That's when you could kick back then. I don't think we did. Leah and then the ladies didn't get out there. Leah was in awe of my Powers.
This is some revisionist history going on right here.
Leah, this is definitely revisionist history.
Yes, it is.
Leah, don't hate now. Don't hate now.
This is an alternate universe. This is the multiverse. Melvin is like in the multiverse.
I'm just telling you what happened. Y'all
go ahead, Melvin. I'm gonna let you rock.
Like my style, my swagger, and how I could put it down when I need to. But anyway, we went through all that. Then I didn't know Kenny was watching us fight to wait to fight us at the end after we fought about 8 or 9 times. Now, yeah, I mean, Dre's right. He did, fall victim. I learned early on to run. I'm like, he's not getting near me. I learned that when I fought Keith too. Keith was a good one for that too. I'm like, Keith is not going to grab my karate suit and rip it off of me. Look at everybody else, he fought me. I learned how to run. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you a story, and this is funny because I think Andre went first, and he stomped Andre, and I'm like, I'm not getting stomped. I'm not falling. If I fall, I'm scrambling to get back up. See, at our karate school, Cleveland Academy, when you fall, we had like a rule that you let the person up, right?
Kenny act like he had some, he was smoking ganja when he was trying to kill me.
Come on now, Andre. We ain't gonna let you keep. Hey, Melvin. Andre,
got 3 seconds.
You
got to give him the cube face.
I'm looking for it, Daryl.
You need to talk Mr. Timeout. But anyway, he knows what that means. He likes to call timeout in his fights. But anyway, he'll tell you about it later. Anyway, so anyway, we went through all that. And then after we got through, on the way bus ride home, Andre got mad at me. Because Andre's like, you got me covered in this, Christ, go. Look at my head. Look at my head. And I'm like, I'm trying not to, look, because it was a big knot. It was a big old speed knot. Like, it needed to be bust. But it was like, I was like, oh, man. I'm like, no, Dre, we can do it, man. They just trying us out, man. So we finally wound up coming back.
Here go Kim again. Go ahead.
So we wound up coming back.
I'll be back.
All right.
Oh my God, please don't. Anyway.
Muted.
Anyway, so we persevered and we hung in there and we finally became part of the team. And I think we started to enjoy each other to a degree.
All right.
We almost ostracized for a little while, but after a while we became embraced.
Okay,
and
now
then,
then
I learned how to sneak in the tournaments for free. Go ahead.
Well, okay, firstly, let's correct some of that revisionist history.
Okay.
Before we wrap this up.
Okay.
And Gino and Daryl and possibly Keith, they know for a fact when in your version that you just told, when you said that you would come to us and try to speak to us, what you really meant is that you were harassing us. Melvin will come over to you, say your name 27 times.
I know. I already know.
What do you mean by that?
And he wasn't even calling me by my correct name. He was calling me Herbert. But he would say it like 20 times. Hey, Herbert. Hey, Herbert. Hey, let me tell you something, Herbert. How come you're not talking to me, Herbert? Hey, Herbert. I'm like, first of all, my name's not Herbert, man. They're saying Herd. And then you know what he said? Herbert Herd. They start calling me Herbert Herd. I'm like, who is this dude? And but I mean, I had seen Melvin. Obviously, I had seen him, fight in the tournaments, and I knew he was good. But he was that dude that just kept trying to talk to us. Okay, first of all, we hardly talk to each other at the karate. First of all, Daryl is not going to talk to you at the tournament.
Yeah, I know that. I know
no,
that.
He'd be like, what's that kung fu movie with the Karate Kid nigga?
Yeah. Okay, Andre, you got one more time to say the N-word. And you're going to get Melvin put off. Because we can't just put you off.
Be kicked off. Go ahead. He's the Karate Kid guy.
So anyway, Melvin is just like calling, hey, Herd, hey, Herd, hey, Herbert Herd, hey, Herbert Herd. And he's, man, Melvin, but Daryl's not talking. You can come and ask Daryl about something else in the tournament, another fighter. You could ask him for some suggestions. He's not going to answer you.
No, he's not.
So if he's not talking to us, he really wasn't talking to somebody from another school.
That's true.
Your best bet was to maybe come talk to me. I might talk to you, or
Yeah.
But everybody pretty much had their game face on. Gino had his afro. He was just making sure it was in shape. He wasn't trying to.
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't trying to talk to you.
No, he wasn't.
And Keith, you get to a tournament, you and Keith's division, you might really not want to even have eye contact with him.
No, that's true.
Because that's the closest thing I've seen to a wild animal.
Well, Keith was crazy.
At a karate tournament.
Yeah.
So you didn't even want to eye contact with him.
True,
but I will tell you this, Melvin. I will grant, and I think that everybody, Daryl and Gino and Keith may confirm that you definitely brought a different swag to us. Mm-hmm. You brought the gimmicks. We would come to tournaments with our suits and briefcases. We all went out and got a briefcase.
Oh yeah.
And this is what Melvin brought to the squad. And people would say, why you got your karate suit in a briefcase? And we would be like, because we mean business. Then the next thing you know, we got towels.
Yeah.
We had like letters on the towels, little sayings on the towels, and towels. All had them.
Remember that.
And they'd be like, what's the towels? We'd be like, because we wiping the floor up with y'all today. Melvin brought all the gimmicks. We had the suit bag.
Yeah.
The Gino got us from Bill's Clothes.
Yeah.
So, but Melvin, I credit you with this saying, because Melvin, I probably if I ironed my karate suit, I might have folded it, but I didn't really iron it until I met you. And Melvin, he would like, Shirley Jordan was
that was
starch.
Ridiculous.
She would like cut herself on a crease on her gi pants.
Yeah, I remember that too.
But Melvin was like, he had a saying, and he would always try to have something real slick with his suit, or a special way he would wear it. And he would say, okay, what was the saying? To look, you
nice. You got to be nice.
That's right.
What is the saying?
You got to look nice in order to be nice.
You got to look nice to be nice.
That's right. That's right.
And so I give Melvin the credit, and it stopped me from having to be the official one that was doing all the talking once Melvin showed up. So,
but your talking was different from Melvin's talking.
What do you mean by that?
What you mean by that?
Kevin would do stuff like, yo, man, old boy said he's getting in your division. He gonna rock you, And then Kevin would go to the other guy. He'd go over to Gino or somebody. Yo, man, this dude say he gonna get him. He would do that. But Melvin was the nag. He would nag. He would start stuff just like with Doug. He'd go over there and nag with them. I mean, you get this guy riled up and you got to fight him.
That's you're probably right.
Okay, this is my best Melvin Brown story. United States team trials.
Oh. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I believe Daryl Gino already made the team, of which Gino, that still was hilarious. Gino made a grown man cry in his division because he hit the dude in the same place. Man, that's just hilarious. But anyhow, Melvin, because I like got eliminated, and I'm pissed off because I had been up all night because I had been pledging. I was a pledgee. I was pledging Kappa at the time, so I had not worked out in karate. Man, I'm running across the campus greeting big brothers, and I was not practicing any martial arts. Well, I was kind of practicing some martial arts, but not one where I could, beat them up. But so I was like, okay, I got to make this worth my money, my trip to New Jersey. So it was this dude was talking all kinds of grade A smack. This dude was good. He was talking. He had an entourage. And so he was just talking so much. I had to go over to him. I was like, yo, man, what division are you in? Because I hadn't seen him fight yet. So it wasn't, I think it was just Melvin's division left. And he was like, yeah, I'm in such and such. I was like, oh, he in Melvin's division. I'm like, oh, it's this going down now. And so I'm like, what's your name, man? He was like, my name is Marvelous Marvin Farmer. And if you ain't never heard of me, you better ask somebody. And I'm like, Marvin Farmer? He was like, Marvelous Marvin Farmer. I'm like, okay, but the farmer part, is that your name or is that your occupation? And the dude was like, oh, he was hot. He was like, well, did you fight already? I said, yeah, but my boy in your division. He was like, oh, your boy about to get smashed. Man, I'm beating your boy down because you over here talking all this mess. I said, are you sure? You sure that? He's like, yeah. And I noticed, I know this ain't right at a karate tournament. But I was like, I got $50 that say, did my boy beating you down? Oh, you don't want to bet money. You don't want to bet money. I mean, I'm sure that was illegal, especially at the amateur athletic union.
Yeah.
Right.
So I done put $50 on Melvin. And he said, now who's your boy? I said, right there. Okay, Melvin had a Jerry curl, first of all. And it was kind of sprinkly. And so Melvin was jumping up and down, and I think he slipped on some Jerry curl juice. Because when I said, that's my boy right there who I'm betting on. And right when we looked, Melvin did like a little move in a Jerry curl shake, and he slipped and fell on the ground. And Marvin Farmer was like, that's the cat you putting your money on?
He tried to jump and spinning kick. It failed.
So I went over to talk to Melvin to make sure my $50 was gonna be safe, because Melvin was, he over there clowning. So Melvin, what did I go over there and tell you?
You just told me I made a bet, and I'm like, on who? So I bet you $50 on this cat. I'm like, why you do that? Because the guy was the only one that came to the tournament with an entourage. He was the only one there with like about 5 or 6 people with him. Nobody else had anybody with him, and he had brought. And I'm like, what'd you do that for? Because the guy was good with Tom the Puppet. Remember Tom the Puppet?
Yeah. Tom the Puppet was a bad dude.
But yeah, he's one of the founders.
And Tom the Puppet verified that he was like this. Go ask Tom the Puppet who I am. And Tom the Puppet said, oh yeah, that's Marvin Farmer. Marvin Farmer, bad boy. I'm like, man, Tom the Puppet. I'll say, Melvin, we're not playing out here today.
Yeah.
Tom the Puppet said this dude bad.
Yeah. I never forget that. So I'm already kind of nervous a little bit. Now you done that. I'm like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? This guy with 5 or 6 cats. But I'm like, it is what it is. But then the fight began. It was open division, right? It was like about, I don't know, how many 50 people in that division maybe. And the chances of the first fight in that,
first fight of the division.
Tell him I said, what's up? I'm gone.
Melvin Brown. Yeah. Marvelous Marvin Farmer. I'm like, this is about to happen right now. This is the first fight.
That's right. You're right. The very first fight, and we fought, and I never had a fight that lasted that quick. It was only like 15 seconds. 10.
Man, Melvin beat the brakes off this dude in record time.
Yeah. It was.
And what did he do after you beat him down, Melvin?
We looked for him. I looked to shake his hand, and he was gone. Him and his entourage, and you was looking for your money.
I'm still looking. Marvin Farmer, where you at, man? You owe me 50. You owe me a hot 50.
and we haven't seen him again. We never saw him again in another tournament since then, and we were back in New York and never saw him again.
So. Marvin Farmer, Melvin, you beat that dude down, man. You beat the brakes off of this dude.
You owe my boy a Hamilton.
That's right, and Alexander Hamilton. No, matter of fact, Hamilton is on the 20.
Who's that? Grant?
Ben Franklin is on the. Ben Franklin's on the 100.
No, it's Grant.
Hamilton's on the 20. The 10. The $10 founding father without a father. I'm doing my Hamilton lyrics. The $10 founding father without a father, going much farther. Anyway, I'm not gonna do my Hamilton routine, but yeah, no. But that was the same tournament that Gino hit the dude and made a grown man cry.
That was funny. He told on Gino. He did it again.
Why is Gino on mute anyway?
Because he knew that you was gonna take up all the oxygen in the room.
Gino, you come off mute. There you go. I'm proud of you.
I'm off mute.
So Janice,
Grant is on a $50 bill.
Janice, we got Leah. What'd you say, Kim?
Grant is on a $50 bill.
Right. We got Leah Lewis in the building with us, Jan. Yeah.
Hey, hey. Tell my soror I said hello.
Oh, she's all smooth. Tell my soror I said, hey, the AK is really beside themselves now that Kamala Harris, they soror.
We will be doing the most.
Oh my, I know y'all are.
You know that. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to all the ladies. Because let me tell you something. If a Kappa had got elected president or vice president, man, I'd be doing a step show in front of my house every day. No doubt. All right, we ready to wrap this up, guys. Melvin, you got anything? Any favorite moments before I send everybody to the Ken Ferguson GoFundMe? Go ahead.
I gotta leave you with this. I never knew really that y'all really voted for me to be in or out, even after that. I never knew that.
He sound like Bobby Brown.
No, I never knew they voted. I mean, I heard about this.
Hold on, Melvin. How do you not know? How many times have we told you the story? You thought we were lying?
I did think you were lying. And then until I had to ask Kenny when Kenny was doing better, I asked Kenny, and Kenny, he told me you voted, even after all the stuff I went through.
Okay, not only did we vote, okay, just for you to understand, for everybody that's watching, they heard about the gauntlet that we had to go through to become a member. This was before that. Before Melvin even showed up, we knew he was coming. I don't know, did you send word that you were coming?
Yeah, I did.
So we'd got the information that Melvin was coming to join us. And we needed to vote because this wasn't just like a regular quiet person coming to show up to join us. This was somebody that was going to disrupt the fabric of what we already was doing.
Gino.
So we had to vote whether we was going to let you in. And I'm let you know now, even though Daryl Sellers keep telling you, he voted no.
I don't blame him. I voted him no too. I was in his division. He don't want, of course not. I would take all his medals and trophies.
First of all, that never happened. And the tournaments that you won, they were small tournaments. It wasn't no major tournament.
Wait a minute. You talk about the one tournament that we fought for grand champion, that it was the USK tournament that Danny from the Partridge family was there. You talking about that tournament where I won? That one?
That wasn't no USKA grand. That was in Canton.
That's the one that Gino didn't fight at.
Okay.
Was there.
I do know that y'all fought at the USK Grand Nationals in the boxing ring in the finals.
Brown belt division.
And Chuck Norris was the senior ref.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I know that Daryl beat you.
It was about 1 point. Maybe 1 point. He kicked me. He punched me with my foot in the rope.
Your foot was caught in the rope, Melvin?
Yeah, he know it.
So why was your foot in the rope,
illegal
Melvin?
Attack.
Why was your foot in the rope?
What you say, Gino? Now he chiming in. There you go.
Why was your foot in the ropes?
I missed. About to kick you in your head.
Okay. so
and your foot got caught in the rope. And then Daryl punched you.
Yeah, he did. With my foot in the rope. I didn't appreciate that, but I had a new perspective when I fought with Daryl. No, new perspective. They taught me a lesson on life. I'm glad you said that.
But you know what? Kenny actually taught us that, because I remember in the beginning, early in competition, we used to talk to people, and Kenny was like, "Don't talk to them." He said they'll try to be friends with you and then get in there and try to knock your head off.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
You were good students. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what, Daryl, I'm gonna give you helped me with this in life. You taught me this. This is what you taught me from that. You taught me to never trust anybody. Thank you, Daryl.
Hey, because remember when Daryl Taylor came back, he tried to knock your head off with a
Daryl
spinning-
Tyler. Oh yeah.
Daryl Tyler, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He tried
Okay.
to hurt you, and that's what Kenny
Yeah.
was talking about.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's another. That's a we talk. That's a Melvin highlight.
Yeah, it is. That was.
Daryl Tyler was one of the highest ranked fighters in the country. He was a myth. He was mythical. He was said that he fought. Who was it?
Bill Wallace.
Bill Wallace
and almost won. And
yeah.
And okay, all I know is Daryl Tyler showed up at OJK, and Melvin, you must have thought that the greatest person on the world had walked into the room. Melvin's like, Golden Boy is here. Golden Boy. Golden.
Yeah.
Melvin was excited.
I was.
The legendary Golden Boy was in the building.
Yeah.
He's going up to this dude. Golden Boy. Melvin got to say your name like 12 times before he. Golden Boy. Golden Boy. Golden Boy. Me and you, we gonna fight Golden Boy. We gonna put on a show. And Golden Boy's looking at Melvin like, whatever, dude, get away from me. And I'm trying to tell, I said, Melvin, I don't think Golden Boy really is trying to holler at you. No, that's Golden Boy. He know me from back in the day. He was the man. Man, they start fighting. Man, Golden Boy is trying to knock Melvin's head off.
Yeah, he was.
And I'm trying to tell Melvin, yo, man, I'm coming in the ring. Y'all know I was good to come in the ring during the matches.
Yeah, he was.
Not my matches, doing other y'all's matches. I will come in the ring to talk to you. I'm like, Melvin, this dude is trying to hurt you, man. Like for real. He's not trying to help. Melvin, like, no, Golden Boy wouldn't do that. Golden Boy. I'm like, man, Melvin is clowning today with this Golden Boy stuff.
Yeah.
And then what happened, Melvin?
Oh, he did a flying spinning heel kick. Sure did. Went right over my head. If he had hit me with it, I'd still be knocked out today.
You would still be knocked out today.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then you fell into a garbage can.
Yeah, I fell out. I went out of bounds. I wouldn't take the hit. But way getting back up again, he ran out of the ring when I was already out of the ring. And I was getting up, punched me in the back of the head. Sure did.
And then who the next person you saw?
It was you, of course. You was in the ring.
And what did I tell you? Well, you wasn't even in the ring at that point. You was out of the ring, leaning on a garbage can.
I was still in a state of shock because, I couldn't believe it.
And what I tell you?
And then Kevin ran into the ring where I was at, outside the ring. And Kevin said, "You believe me now?"
And let me tell y'all something.
Switch, baby.
The look on Melvin's face changed.
His nose started flaring.
The hound dog look was there.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even say, "Yeah, I believe you." I just saw the look on his face.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing. I said to myself, I got my stance, fighting stance, reverse punch. I said, I don't care what he does. I'm gonna put every inch, every pound of me in his eye. He came every pound. He came in and did some stuff. I don't even know what he did. To this day, I don't know what he did.
Man, Melvin let that dude have it. Man, that's one of the hardest punches I ever. Man, you opened up that dude's face. You blacked his eye. He was bleeding.
He was done.
He was done. The crowd looked this. Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how you do that.
And y'all came in the ring giving high fives while the match was going on. with your civilian clothes on. You had crisis on.
Nobody do that. That ain't how we roll.
He had that coming, man. That dude was trying to hurt you, Melvin. And
he was.
You realized it, and you handled your business. I mean,
we never saw him again since.
I'm not happy the man got hurt, but he tried to hurt you.
Yeah. Do what you had to do.
And he was some type of army champion or something. He went to the army.
He was some kind of something.
He came back, and I was like, "What is Melvin doing?"
I was trying to give him some. I was trying to give him some respect.
Too much.
Yeah.
First mistake.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's your first mistake right there.
Yeah,
he cleaned it up. He cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
But Melvin, you had a history of doing that, because I remember USK Grand Nationals. Herb Johnson was there. You was like, "Oh, Herb Johnson here. Herb Johnson, he's the number one fighter." I was like, "So?"
I think that was me. I think that was me, big up in Herb Johnson.
Yeah.
That was him. That wasn't me. That was
He had,
him.
back in that day, when you was ranked #1, they gave that #1 patch.
Mad Dog Herb Johnson.
Mad Dog, yes. Mad Dog.
I think that was me big up in Herb Johnson.
Yeah, he was. He was.
And Melvin knocked out some other top ranked dude. No, I think Melvin did beat Herb Johnson.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I beat him.
Yeah. That was at USK Grandmasters.
Yeah. Now what, Daryl?
But that wasn't me. Herb Johnson.
Oh Lord.
Well, you're just so lucky. You're so lucky.
But you know what? But Kenny taught us that and I think Leah said it earlier, you know, the mindset that we had, that we wasn't fearing anybody. I mean, even though they were nationally ranked fighters, and I remember that dude, his name was Reggie from New York. I didn't know
Reggie Man.
but you knew him, Melvin.
Reggie Man, yeah.
And he was this dude. He's standing. I never had nobody do this. He's standing there. They made me wait. He looking over at me like somebody gonna pay. Somebody gonna pay. And I'm like, is this dude talking to me? And he was like getting in my face like this. He said, they made me wait.
Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, Reggie Man was the Superman.
He said, they made me wait.
And I was thinking it was gonna be a good fight. So I'm like, let me just some water and let me come back and watch this fight. Right? This is so when I came back from my water, the guy was taking his stuff off. I'll be back. I'll be back.
I think it was 3 nasty back fists.
Man, that dude wouldn't even shake my hand afterward. I mean, it was like I probably beat him like 5-0 in 4 seconds.
Yeah, you did.
And he was like, somebody gonna pay, making me wait. You know, he had an entourage, and I didn't know who he was. Melvin knew who he was.
Yeah. He was like a top fighter in New York. The boy's
he was like, let's get it on. I was like, let's get it on. And he fought with his hands down like this. I'm like, this is gonna be over.
I gotta get to do with the fastest back fist in the game. I can tell anybody.
Goodness.
You might want to put your hand up, bruh. You fight your hand down, you gonna have Daryl Sutter's fist in your eye, like quick.
But I tell you, had this COVID not hit, I would have fought this month at Drax tournament.
Get out of here.
Training.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Melvin.
you've been like Mike Tyson, huh?
Hey, I gotta ask Melvin.
What's up?
Melvin had the strangest looking technique I ever saw in my life. Melvin, you would rush him, and Melvin would turn and like turn his back. Like Melvin gonna get hit in the back of the head doing that. But he would do it where the dude would kind of like fall over him, and then Melvin would spring back and throw the dude like across the ring.
Yeah.
Man, that was the craziest technique I ever saw in my life.
And that was in Black Belt division. I tried it once and it worked, and I just adapted it. I'm like, this stuff works. And I would position myself so that their student would be behind me.
I say you throw people out the ring into the stands.
Into their students. I always look for their students. I was like, okay, let me stand here. So their students can be rooting them on. They look at their students and looking at me, and I'm, like, okay. And I would like try to look a little tired. So like, I got him now. And they would do a kick, and I would dip down, and I would come up under them, right? And I would stand up, and they would be up in the air. And I would just tip my shoulder, throw them into their people.
That's
they're
the
like,
Sensei technique.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he would do it all the time too, so it wasn't an accident. The first time I saw him do it, I thought it was an accident. But he kept doing it like for years. I'm like, this is a real technique.
It worked.
But you didn't score off of it.
But still, you don't want. He didn't score off of it, but you still don't want to get thrown into the crowd. You got like a mental advantage when you throw somebody into the stands.
Yeah, you messed
That's
up.
like blocking a shot. But
Yeah.
you take the shot and you block it and throw it into the man. That was the craziest looking thing I ever saw in my life.
Yeah. Because y'all would sit there, y'all be like, what is he doing? What's he doing? His hands is down. It's like a Steph Curry thing. Like, what's he doing? The coach said, oh, okay, good shot. He's like, what's he doing? He's about to get hit in the face.
And then Melvin want to wait till he's like about to lose the fight.
Yeah.
He down 4-0 in a fight to go to 5. And then he end up winning every time. I'm I'm like, what was you waiting on all that time, bro?
Decoy. It's a decoy. I want them to feel comfortable with themselves.
You know what? And looking at like when I've been at went to some of the Drax tournaments and some tournaments around
in Akron, Lee's tournament.
Yeah.
The Shout out to Lee Henry Harris.
Yeah, the era of the competition has changed from when we competed. I know when I talked to my son about it, you know, when he's playing football and stuff like that, I said, dude, you got to turn on the switch. You know, you got to jump up. We used to jump up and get psyched. You know, he started doing before his track meets, he started doing that. But he didn't understand until he saw some of my films of me competing. And I think today in the martial arts, in the competition, I don't see, at least the tournaments I've seen, I don't see that esprit de corps that we had. I don't see that mindset, that drive, that intensity that we had back in the day. And I told my son, I said, one, you didn't come up like me, you know, playing football and in the street, doing karate on a hard gym floor, concrete floor, and you know, stuff like that. And he came up in the era with the emergence of sports science. You know, we didn't have that. We didn't have the equipment. We didn't have
the floor wasn't padded. It was wood.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was concrete.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was not a pad.
And remember, we started competing just at the tail end of the era of the bare knuckle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because June Ree had just came out
with the
with
gloves,
some hand stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we were bare knuckle days.
But even in AAU, you were back to bare knuckle.
Right.
In AAU tournaments, you couldn't wear gloves.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't even wear tape.
Right. You could wear tape.
But you had to have a doctor's thing to even wear tape on your hand at first.
I'll say this though. I was talking to Gino the other day, and I told him when we were on our game, I don't think there's anybody that could have beat us anywhere. That's the truth.
I'm with you on that. I'm talking anywhere, literally, not just here locally, anywhere.
Anywhere. I mean, Cash used to come to Cleveland to warm up for a bigger tournament, and they never came back to Cleveland. Remember? They come up with JK, and they're like, "Oh, what are we doing here?" You know what I mean?
Remember that time Shirley and Linda Dentley was at the same tournament?
Oh,
yeah.
The greatest,
Oh, really?
The greatest female fighter probably in the history of tournament competition. I might argue that she might have been the most dominant point fighter, man or woman, in the history of tournament kumite.
Yes, she was.
I wanted Shirley to fight Linda Dentley so bad.
Because they were similar fighters.
Yeah, they were.
Very much so.
And they both
Shirley
had
was just
afro.
lighter.
Yeah.
But they didn't fight that day. Shirley, because Shirley had qualified to fight in brown belt.
Right.
But she could have fought in black belt that day. Because when the next time you go see Linda Dentley?
Yeah.
That'd have been a fight that I would have loved to see. Before I close out, I do want to tell Gino and Melvin I'm upset. Okay, I was upset because Leah knocked me out. But I was also upset because who was that laughing? Was that Leah or Kim laughing?
That was Kim.
Okay, that Kim. That wasn't.
That would
funny.
be me.
That wasn't funny. But I'm mad at Melvin and Gino because I was in this tournament in New York, and they let these cats from this karate school rush the ring on me, and it was about 40 people from another karate school,
Kevin,
trying to jump on me. And I'm in the ring. I'm like, oh, snap. It's like I'm looking for Melvin. Gino's in my division. I didn't even see him.
Is that the guy you broke his nose?
Huh.
No, that was a different dude. Gino was in that division.
That was a different dude.
That sounds familiar.
No, that was in Erie when the referee I did the jump. Gino said do a jump spinning heel kick. And I did a jump spinning heel kick and broke the dude's nose and knocked the blood on the referee who was wearing a tuxedo. Why, I don't know. But not that tournament. That's the dude who we saw at the hospital, and he told me never to come back to Erie, Pennsylvania again with tape on his nose. But he was a grown man, and I was like 15 or something. But that's not what I'm talking about. Melvin know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Cats from New York that rushed the ring on me.
Kevin, we couldn't get to you, Kevin. It was too many. It was too many.
You know
It
what?
was too
That
many.
sounds familiar, Kevin.
Kim.
They got a track record.
Kim, they rushed. It was like how many? It was their whole school. They rushed.
It was at least 40, 50 people.
And they was trying to fight me in the ring.
It was
I
plenty of
know.
us. Like
I
Kevin.
It wasn't Omega.
Like Kevin. Yeah, it was.
He wasn't one of them.
That was Mega. Mega was the one he stomped.
Yeah.
Mega was the one he stomped. But Kevin, you egged them on because you was talking to one of their karate students, female. You remember that?
Okay, but that's no reason for them to try to jump on me 40 deep.
Kevin, you already had them mad at you already.
Right.
You was talking to one of their female teammates.
Not at
But
that
that ain't
tournament.
why.
No, Daryl, they were mad at him already. He stomped Omega on top of that.
Hey, why did the scorpion sting the frog? Because that's what they do.
Daryl, the dude failed. He was talking all kinds of smack.
He was.
He failed during the match.
He did.
And I did a jump spinning stomp.
You did.
I saw Kenny do it, and I was like, "Oh, I was looking for the first opportunity to, we would watch Kenny do a technique,
Right.
And if we want to see which one of us is gonna be the first one to do that same technique, I saw Kenny do a jump spinning stomp on somebody. I was like, "This is my shot." And I did a jump spinning stomp, and the next thing I heard was somebody yell, "He stopped Omega!" And I looked, and it was like 40 cats in the ring on me.
Only thing we saw was black Chrysler, Kevin. I didn't see you no more. I'm like,
I think I must have. I don't even remember that.
You were in my division.
You was
I
there.
know.
What was the name of their school? Apple
Dojo.
Apple Dojo.
Remember that? It
Uh-huh.
was in New York.
Yeah, it was a lot of them.
Yeah, I remember New York too.
Hey, before we go out, everybody give their most memorable technique on somebody.
On somebody?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. I already know mine, but I had to let Melvin tell that story. But Melvin, what's your most memorable?
What, the heave hole? The heave hole. The heave hole. The one that
I mean, on a specific person or just in general?
You
want an actual moment or just a technique? A moment
that you really got your technique off on somebody.
That would be easy. That's easy. That's Daryl Tyler. When I'm planting my fist right into his
Daryl
face.
Tyler's brain.
Yeah, his brain, and he stopped, and the fight was over. And then, that was the most memorable one. Because you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because what he had done towards me or at me, I couldn't believe. And when Kevin stopped me and he said to me, "Do you believe me?" And he right. I remember that very moment today as if it was today. I remember looking at Kevin and not even responding. And I just turned slowly. I'm like, "Oh, this guy." And I remember getting to my stance. I'll never forget this. I give it to you. I got into my stance. It was like almost like it was like a cat stance. Because I had my foot was so close together, but I got on a ball on my back foot. And I balled up my back hand, and I said, "I don't care what he does. I'm gonna punch him right in his eye." He did some stuff. He did some stuff. He would, I was like, bam! And that was it.
Yeah.
Lights out.
Yeah.
Then he had the nerve to say, "I could continue." I told him, "Let him fight." Now you got one eye.
All right, that was Melvin's. Leah, you got a tournament memory that you jacked somebody up?
Well, aside from my uppercut to your chin.
Oh, here we go with that again.
You asked for that.
Leah. Still one of my favorites.
You asked for that.
No, I would just say it was usually something with my legs, either a roundhouse kick or a side kick.
I saw Leah's sidekick and round. Man,
Yeah,
Leah's kicks was hard.
Hard.
Leah's kicks were hard.
And having those chicks cry in the juniors division,
I've
they
been on the
cry.
tail end of those.
Well,
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna let Debbie Larkins in, but Kim Akers, go ahead.
A reverse punch right to the chest, real hard.
Do you have a person that you did it to, or just in general?
This girl from South Carolina
Okay.
at the regionals in Columbus,
Okay.
1988.
All right.
Here.
I remember. I want gold. I want gold that year.
Okay,
Debbie
well,
Larkins.
all right. Gino, you want me to go, or you want to go, Gino or Daryl?
I'll go.
right.
I can't think of a specific person, but I know when Kenny brought back the underpunch.
That changed your
that
career.
That was
yeah.
it.
Oh, Gino, you was the master of that.
Yeah, that's what made that dude go. He did it again. I punched him twice in the same spot, but I went undefeated for 80 and 81 with an underpunch.
With that underpunch, yeah, Gino, you mastered that technique.
He sure did.
Punch was pretty good.
Yeah, but Gino was the king of that one.
And he was quick with
Gino, you was better with underpunch than Kenny was.
Yeah,
and he showed it to us. I get that one to you, Gino. You took that underpunch and you created a career out of that one. You rocked that for like 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Doing that underpunch. It's a different technique that you don't really. I never had seen it before. Not the way that it was delivered.
Yeah.
It's a strange look. And Gino was but I think if the underpunch was your favorite, then that day when you made you made the United States team with doing that underpunch.
Yeah.
And won the Pan Am Games with it.
Yeah.
Got a gold medal doing the underpunch.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Yeah.
And you made that dude cry. When you first hit him, he was like, "Oh, he hit me in my." He called out a specific body part or something.
My esophagus.
He hit me in my floating rib or something like that.
Yeah.
He was like, and then you hit him again. He was like, he hit me again. He did it again. I'm like, man, Gino, this grown man is really complaining at a United States team trials.
Right.
That's crazy. All right, well, mine is easy. Y'all all know this one. Even though none of us can confirm where it occurred at, I think that's the Mandela effect. But we all know the event because it was a technique that that I created called the mind bender. Daryl took the technique and took it to Okinawa, and but I ain't gonna go into that because that might be his thing. But anyway, so I'm at the tournament, but it wasn't just a tournament. It was another instructor kept telling me every tournament, I got somebody for you, Kevin Hurd. I'm bringing him here from California. He gonna be here in 4 months, and he go get you. And every tournament, it was a countdown. He gonna be here for you, Kevin. He'll be here in 3 months. Kevin Hurd, he gonna be here in 2 months. He gonna get you. This was every tournament. Kevin Hurd, he gonna be here in 3 weeks. And then finally one day he was like, "You getting it today, Kevin Hurd, because he here." And let me tell you something. That dude that he was talking about, that dude was good.
Oh, he's nice. He was nice.
Oh, that dude probably had one. I don't know who that dude was, but that dude had, because I watched this dude fighting other people, which is why I keep telling y'all it was at OJK. Y'all just don't want to believe me because I was grand champion. So I didn't have to fight anybody. I just had to watch him.
OJK.
Say what, Melvin?
It wasn't OJK.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
What you say, Daryl? You said it was
okay.
OJK?
The problem, y'all both say it's not OJK, but y'all have 2 different tournaments that y'all think it was at.
Daryl, you said
But
OJK.
it don't matter. Tell the story.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna go through that.
Anyway, if y'all notice, y'all know I wasn't fighting anybody. I was just watching that dude. That's the only reason. That's the only reason that could even happen.
All right,
I
go
was
ahead, go
defending
ahead.
grand champion.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I watched this dude. This dude had and Melvin, y'all got Daryl, Gino, anybody was there. This dude kick was lightning.
Yeah, off the front leg.
He was just knocking cats upside the head. I ain't seen a kick like this since Bill Wallace.
Yeah, he was nice.
So I'm watching this dude, and the whole time the other instructor like, "I told you, Kevin Hurd, he here. What you gonna do?" Now the whole time I'm thinking like I had already invented the technique, the mind bender, so I already knew what it was gonna be. So we get to the tournament, we get to me and him. It was the fight of the night. It was all lights. The lights was on. We in the no other rings. Tournament shut down. Me and him. And I'm just standing there. I'm not even about to do any technique except for waiting him to do this kick. And they screaming. And I think at some point they realized what was about to happen because the other schools started saying, don't kick, don't kick. And he looking like, don't kick. That's what I do.
Right.
Like, what else I'm going to do? That's what I do. Melvin, I'm going to let you handle it from here.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I remember because I'm sitting there like, this guy is nice. His front leg was like a jab, like somebody throwing a hand with the jab of the hand. So anyway, I'm sitting there. We all sitting there. I'm looking at Kevin, looking at the guy, and I see the guy. They doing a stare down, and the guy lifts up his front leg. And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh no!" And I'm saying, "Kevin, just sit there." I'm like thinking to myself, "Kevin, move, move." Kevin didn't move. The guy lifted his foot up. I saw him extend his leg out. I think it hit the hair on Kevin's nose.
Actually, he actually kicked Kevin.
He barely touched me.
Yeah,
he touched me on the way down.
All of a sudden, Kevin dropped down. The guy's other legs, both legs was up in the air. Woof, right? Kevin had swept him. The guy hit the ground, boom, hit the ground hard. I know that shocked him. Kevin brought his foot around to the bridge of his nose and boom, lights out. That was it. It's like, oh no. Kevin was like, Kevin always act like he don't know what he did. What? 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 I didn't what? He was famous with that.
Oh yeah, that was mine. That was mine. Cause dude told me this dude was coming for me like six months in advance, every tournament.
Hey, Kevin, that's the only person that got beat that changed their religion. Next time we saw him, he was Jehovah's Witness.
We never saw that dude ever again. Like, I don't even know that dude's name.
He was Jehovah's Witness, I'm telling you. He changed religion.
All right, that was mine. All right, Daryl. Oh, we got Kim. Stacy, do you ever, we'll leave you out, Stacy. You got a favorite karate tournament memory? Is Stacy frozen, or that's just her thinking pose? Okay, she must be frozen. All right, go ahead, Daryl. We're gonna close it out. Okay.
Although my best technique was the back fist.
Man, first of all,
there's Stacy. There's Stacy.
Yeah, the minute you said my name, I froze.
Okay. All right, you got a memory from a tournament?
Oh, I remember you all talk about free. You all
sneaking
doing
in
karate for free.
Oh, okay.
I remember we were at Jogger Lake.
Okay, if it's the story about Leah knocking me out again, enough of that.
No. But we were at Jogger Lake. And I remember my mother saying, show me what that $1,000 I paid Ken Ferguson gonna do. I wasn't allowed to lose a tournament.
Right.
Because my parents paid too much money.
All right, so that's all you remember. That's just know that you had to show your mama that her money was well spent.
I show my mama that her money was well spent.
There you go.
Right.
All right, Daryl. Close it out.
Although the back fist was my best technique, the most memorable technique is Kevin alluded to it, was in Okinawa. I went to, when I arrived on Okinawa, I chose that duty station because, Ishinru was the Okinawan style. So I go there and I find out that the Marine Corps had a karate team. And so I found out who the guy was, the captain of the team, and I went to him. He was a sergeant. And so I said, hey, how you doing? I'm Lance Corporal Sullins. I just got on the island and all this. And the dude looked me up and down like I had a third eye in the middle of my forehead and said, we got all we need. I was like, yeah, you don't understand, but he said, we got all we need. Okay, so a couple of months later, they had a tournament. So I entered. It was the Island-wide Karate Championship. It was the most prestigious tournament on the island. Fighters all over came from there. So I'm at the tournament and, I'm doing my thing, going by myself. And they had this guy from the Philippines was kicking like that guy kicked who you fought, Kevin. Mm-hmm. He was bashing guys. And I'm like, oh, he ain't kicking me with that. Yeah. I'm like, he is not kicking me with that. And so he would do it. He would like a skip kick and flip that roundhouse. He did that on me. I dropped, did the mind bender, but when he did this kick, he was on the ball of his foot. So I hit that foot from under him, and both his legs went from under him. And on his way down, I hit him coming around with the heel kick before he hit the ground.
Oh.
They stopped the tournament. The guy got on the mic. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, that's the most beautiful sweep I ever seen. But unfortunately, we can't allow it because sweep's not allowed." But the rest
Jamal
of the
was
fight,
there. So Jamal was there.
Oh no. but for the rest of the fight, I would kind of jerk like I was gonna do it. He couldn't kick again because it messed him up. And I was like, that's a great name for it, the mind bender.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you win, didn't they give you a special award or something for that?
I won black belt heavyweight, I won the grand champion, and I won the outstanding technique award that day. In which the points that I accumulated from that tournament, I didn't know, but I was selected fighter of the year in Japan.
Wow.
Wow.
That was his attitude toward you from that point on, Daryl.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do that technique to somebody.
Oh yeah.
I didn't come. When I named that technique the mind bender, that happened to somebody.
As a matter of fact,
for people that don't know, it's a sweep technique. It's when somebody does a high kick, you come up under them and sweep the leg that they're standing on, and as they fall or after they fall, then you follow up because you're already on the ground. Then you follow up with a heel kick because you're both on the ground at that point, and just drop it on them like it's like an axe kick while you're already on the ground. Bam! But it happens like boom, bam, and it, if you see that, you're like, oh my God, what in the world?
And I tell you that story because, matter of fact, this is the only award that I have on my wall, outstanding fighter of the year. And the reason why, remember that sergeant that said we have all we need? He was sitting at the awards table when I got there, and all of a sudden a spot opened up for me on the team.
I bet.
And that's why I keep this the only one that I have on my wall, because I remember no matter what the situation or no matter the naysayers or who doubt you, from what Kenny taught us, that not only worked here, but it worked internationally too.
Right. And just for the people to know, Okinawa is not just a place that our style Ishinryu was from. Karate itself is from the island of Okinawa.
Right.
I mean, they say it's from Japan, but technically karate is from the island of Okinawa. That's the birthplace of karate. And
Let me say this though.
Went down there and beat people down.
Let me say this real quick. There's one thing that Kenny gave us. He gave us the ability to believe in ourselves amongst anything and everything. He made us feel as if, and he embedded in us that ain't no school better than us. Now, we went to places that people had full karate schools, right? We in a gym practicing karate in the corner, and we're going to places where we walk in there like, here's some black kids coming in, right? Because you know what it was back then. You fight somebody of a different color, you was almost bound to lose because of the color. We had got so good at what we did that when we beat somebody, they would tell the referees, you better call his points for him or her. You better call her points because I'm not going to be out here too much longer taking this beating.
Please call their points because you're trying to get me killed.
But when we got out there, we believed, I'm telling you, we believed that we could not be beat. We actually believed that. And we weren't supposed to believe that. Seeing where we came from. We supposed to have felt almost like as if people were better than us, but we never gave anybody that. And that's because the way when Kenny used to come to tournaments, I'll leave you with this because I talk a lot. When Kenny used to come to tournaments, believe it or not, Kenny used to come to tournaments and actually go to take a nap before he fought. And he'd get up and win a grand champion. I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm in the corner, sweating, warming up. He's sleeping.
Yeah, Kenny would sleep through kata.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes he wouldn't even show up until he figured kata was over.
Yeah.
And unless he was going to do weapons kata. He would, if he felt like doing weapons kata, he would show up. But yeah, you're right. But I want to tell you this, everybody will know this. If they've ever had Ken Ferguson come over, because rarely will Kenny even, like you hear other instructors, they're coaching their students from the side, do this, do that, do a kick, do this technique. Rarely will Kenny even come up. Sometimes Kenny wasn't even at the tournament with us.
Right.
But if he was there, he may come over to you and say something. And then I've had people come to me afterwards and say, because you see Ken Ferguson come over and say, another person from another school, they know it's probably something super duper. Like what did Ken Ferguson, Ken Ferguson is, United States team, baddest dude at the tournament, Ken Ferguson. So if he come over and say something to you, people are interested in what he said. And we all know he ain't said any technique. He said, fight your fight.
Fight your fight.
That's all he would say.
Yeah.
That's the best that you was gonna get from him at a tournament. That's
fight your fight.
He ain't telling you nothing but that.
But we knew when he said fight your fight, it's levels to that. I mean, because it just didn't, the what we were gonna do didn't just come about at that tournament.
Right.
True. Fight your fight is a deep term.
Hey, I want to say something.
It's levels to fight your fight.
I want to thank y'all for something too. Andre is down here with me.
I told Andre he was pushing it.
No, I'm talking about his fight with Tony Lewis.
I'm saying he was pushing it.
He was the only person ever. I can say it now because
you better hope he don't watch this because we recording this. But I'll say it. I'll say it.
What?
Deflashed.
He got deflashed. He got put out. He the only person that ever got put out.
Yeah, he is.
Like when they strip your patch off you in the army, like yeah, he got deflashed.
That's a whole other story for another day.
It was another story.
Yeah.
It took place. Oh man, that's another story.
We got to catch up in person. Look at Gino. Gino shaking his head. He's like, Gino was there.
You had to catch us in person to ask us about
Kenny was pissed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's another story.
I blame that on Melvin.
He might be right. He might be right. I'll take that one.
But Keith is not here, but Keith redeemed that one. Keith cleaned that one up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
That probably was one of the greatest fights.
Keith cleaned that one up for what Andre let happen in our school against that opponent.
Yeah.
Keith cleaned that one up.
You know what? That's probably the only fight somebody lost against that school.
I ain't never lost nobody from that school.
No, they might be right.
And I fought a bunch of. Oh, okay. But I'm not even gonna count that one. That was the infamous 30-second fight where the instructor was the timekeeper. and it was.
No, I'm talking about open tournament.
Oh yeah, okay, no, open tournament. Not a school gave a tournament.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. I think Gino, you sure you ain't lose to somebody from there?
From Jamal school?
Yeah, you lost to Marcus that time.
That was from the bar. That wasn't from a school.
You lost.
You're clowning.
And Gino did lose to the guy in the scarf too, though. With a scarf.
And he lost to Speedy that time. Okay, I'm like, why are all these people talking about not deceased? Okay, let me stop.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Marcus didn't go to Jamal school, did he?
No, I just threw that out there though.
No, he just want to let you know you got beat by a drunk.
And then, come on, Mel, we're not doing that. And Melvin lost Kata in kids division when he was a grown man.
Your point.
Melvin accidentally entered Kata. What Melvin was doing in Kata, I still don't know.
Right.
I had a decent Kata in me.
He entered Kata division not knowing that he was in kids division.
It was not kids. It was juniors. It was juniors.
And he lost.
It was juniors and Vance.
And it was only 4 of them in the division.
It was junior advance.
And when they called the winners for first, second, and third, it was 3 little kids.
He was still standing back on the thing.
He was still, his grown ass was still.
And it was nice. It was nice.
Okay. No, Juniors, you go to Juniors division.
It was nice. The college was nice.
I'm gonna go on that one.
I'll tell you, but Melvin did make it up again.
I did.
Because in the Kumite, in the fighting division, he fought a dude who had just knocked somebody out in a full contact match. Dude was the full contact champion.
Was that Murray Sutherland?
No, it wasn't Murray Sutherland. But it was a dude who had beat Ross Scott. The dude had just got through beating Ross Scott.
That's right.
Who was like the baddest full contact fighter on the planet.
And he was a big dude too.
That's right.
And this dude had just beat Ross Scott. And Melvin, and he had just knocked somebody out at that tournament in a full contact match.
Oh, did.
And then he entered and had to fight Melvin. And I'm still laughing because Melvin lost Carter in juniors division against some kids, and he was a grown man. But Melvin knocked out the full contact champion.
Come on. Come on.
So he redeemed himself.
I had to. I didn't hear
But that was one of our standards.
Yeah.
If you fought like crap, you had to redeem yourself.
Yeah, or you paid on the way home.
Melvin knocked out the dude who knocked out the champ.
He had to. Lights out. He had
That's right.
So I get it. I get it to him.
Kim, do you put your face all the way in the camera?
Kim came on. You should have saw when she first came on. She first came on like this.
Because I wear my glasses like this all the time.
Okay, but Melvin, you came on like this. And then showed up with a dude that we kicked out.
Right. You got to make up for that now.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, you got to make up for that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Before we close, let me tell you once again, you all see, and for the people who watch this again, if y'all actually watch it this far to hear us clowning, but it's jewels to be picked up all through this for anybody, for martial artists, for non-martial artists. But if you're still watching and you watch this again, go to the box where the description box, you'll see a GoFundMe for our instructor Ken Ferguson. Go ahead, if you can donate anything, please do. If you can, or if you can't, also share it with the people. As I said before, as you've heard us, and we haven't even begun to talk about Kenny's. That's a whole nother. We'll do another one with just his community involvement and things that he's done for the Harvard Community Center, for all the churches in the neighborhood, for all the high schools, middle schools, elementary schools in the area. He's done everything. Transported kids in a bus that he probably made himself with a wrench. Yeah. See, Stacey, you've been on some of Ken Ferguson buses.
Man, he had a bus that had no headlights.
But he got to where it was going.
We got to Cedar Point. He said, we got to leave by dark. I said, well, why? We just got here. He said, because we don't have no headlights.
Hey.
I said, oh.
And another thing, I talked about Ken being able to drive with his knees. I want y'all to also know that Ken Ferguson can drive on the highway at 80 miles an hour with zero visibility. I've been in a torrential downpour storm where I couldn't see past the windshield. And Ken Ferguson is changing lanes in between cars.
And how you do that? I don't understand.
Has anybody else seen him do that before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Scared me.
Yeah, when I was in that front seat with the cable hooked to the windshield wipers, going like this.
Hey, Ken Ferguson, my son even said he rode somewhere with Ken Ferguson one time. He said Ken Ferguson is a little too good of a driver. He's unnecessarily good for no reason that good being able to drive a car. Although Daryl Sullins went Hooper that time in Kent State on the road in the dark, I had to give Daryl some driving credits too. Were we going or coming back from Kent? Anyway,
we were going to Kent.
Hey, I thought we was crashing and dying. Daryl got some driving skills. That's all I'm gonna know. Okay, but I know I'm gonna go. But I was with Gino when he got his driver's license. He got into a car crash on the way back from passing his driver's test.
Oh God. You're not giving me any hope because my son is driving now.
Kim,
he's learning now.
I rode with Gino to get his driver's test. He passed the test, and then he hit a pole or something.
And Kevin's no help. Kevin's no help. He's just like, you gonna crash. You gonna crash.
And he
oh
did.
My Lord.
And he did. Anyway, guys, go to the donate to Ken Ferguson to the GoFundMe. He should get a barrel of laughs watching us on here clowning, lift his spirits, except for the Melvin part. He goes, I told you not to have Melvin on here. I'm blaming it on Daryl. But anyhow, hey, Sensei, we love you, man. Fight that good fight. Everybody else, please, if you can donate to the GoFundMe, please do. If you can't, share it to some other people that may or just want to know, what Ken, because it gives you information about what Ken is dealing with and who he is, and maybe some other things that you didn't. He has a film on there. You want to see this. You see kids, his demonstrations, you see him breaking bricks. You see him breaking like 7 bricks wearing a suit. And not a karate suit.
Yeah.
His suit and dress shoes.
Like,
he got on the top.
He got on
the
a
top,
tie.
but his dress pants and dress shoes.
No, it's also one where he got on just a regular suit. A Brooks Brothers suit breaking bricks. And by the way, speaking of breaking bricks, Daryl Melvin had jokes on you breaking bricks.
Oh,
I just want you to put that in.
Well, you talking about the breaking competition he was in at Jamal school.
See y'all.
All right,
love
Gino.
y'all. Peace. I'm out too.
Hey,
Talk
we out,
to
y'all. Go to the site, share it, donate. We gone. I'll talk to y'all crazy people later. I holler.
Yep.
I love all y'all. And
All
love
right,
you,
bro.
Berg.
Peace. Out.
Peace and love.
Yep. All right.
Wrong, Leah.
Bye.
Bye.
Shut it down. Ending.